She's the breeze that blows my mind, and she's the heat that leaves me cold inside, and she's the reason I can't find another soul to keep me satisfied. And I'm seized and eased at the very same time. I'm pleased to say I don't often compromise, but I'd give the world to make her mine. I'd give that girl my heart, my soul, and my eyes. I never realized she's passing me by until I'm cold inside. My heart, my soul, and my eyes, and I'll never she's just a bird, bridges high. She's along the river that flows on by. She's just a bend in that river that flows on by, that redirects the wind but let the breeze blow. My heart, my soul, and my eyes, and I'll never realize she's passing me by until I'm cold inside. My heart, my soul, and my eyes, and never realize she's passing me by. Oh no, yeah. And how long it has been since I took such a blow to the mind, and how wrong does it seem for me to touch one so sublime? And this song, it is not mine. It belongs on the breeze, yeah, the breeze that blows my mind. September 3rd, and I haven't heard from her. I thought for sure we were starting something that wouldn't allow for what's just occurred. I thought for sure we were, but I haven't heard from her. And I'm singing Mayday, Mayday, 'cause our love lasted no longer than an Baby's got something of an August way. At the end of the summer she don't plan to stay. No way, 'cause it's no longer that April day. October 3rd and she hasn't yet called. It seems after all we were never starting nothing that would ever last past the fall. It hurts after all. It hurts after all. And now as I fall, I'm singing Mayday, Mayday, 'cause our love lasted no longer than an April day. And I could hear it in the words she'd say. Baby's got something of an August way, yeah. At the end of the summer she don't plan to stay. No way, no way, 'cause it's no longer that April day. November 3rd and not a word from her. I still haven't heard from her, but I still remember her. And I'm singing Mayday, Mayday, 'cause our love lasted no longer than an April day. And I could hear it in the words she'd say. Baby's got something of an August way, yeah. At the end of the summer she don't plan to stay. No way, no way, 'cause it's no longer that April day. Most of what I wanna know is what's going on. What's wrong? How long has it been since you've seen the sun? Made a joke or said a pun or even made fun of me. You used to make me think that you wanted me. It's so sad to me. How can I mend you now? 1 year, yes, one more by. A little less of my time thinking, little more of my time high. And I wonder why life hangs you out to dry. So I think I might go by the east side. Meet me on the east side of the bridge. We know flying is not right, but you might for what you did. Hang your feet from the east side of the bridge. I know they're near there or here, they're taking my ditch, but I don't care. I'll meet you anywhere, so meet me. can't ask. And no things stuck in the past that you maybe should have asked about the last time we spoke about pastimes. Like, are you lonely tonight, or were you only lonely that time? Because time won't be the end of another line. Even if this is the end, are you my love or my friend tonight? 1 year, yes, one more, but a little less of my time thinking, a little more of my time high. And I wonder why life hangs you out to dry. So I think I might go by, hang my feet from the east side. Meet me on the east side of the bridge. We know flight is not right, but you might for what you did. Hang your feet from the east side of the bridge. I know they're near there or here, they're digging my ditch, but I don't care. I'll meet you anywhere. Meet me on the east side of the bridge. We'll let the sunrise be both of our alibis. So meet me.
Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm Cole, this is Cole Lateral TV, and we're gonna try something a little new today. There we go. Stack the chat on top of that.
Question I always ask is, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? I met a guy, we had a great date.
Today's topic, young woman says she's been ghosted 8 times and has no idea why.
I feel like there's no reason why I shouldn't have a relationship. I am the type of person that when someone shows me affection, I'm all in. I like to text all the time. I like to just talk to them all the time. The first question I always ask.
That's why.
You're not wrong.
Even the tone of voice, it's just.
First question I always ask is, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? I met a guy, we had a great date, and then a week later, I went
Bro, at this point, I don't even know what to say to you. Like, it's get the clue. The common denominator is you.
at a seminar named Bricklin, and we hit it off. At dinner, I felt like we had a connection, so of course I asked the question that I always ask, do you have a girlfriend? And he said no.
You know what's the most problematic thing about this whole thing is how comfortable she is at saying that question, which tells me that she's doing stuff way worse that she's not comfortable divulging.
Yeah, but I'm doing that. I'm always doing that, so it's fine. No.
We talked a few more times, and I asked him one more time, do you have a girlfriend? And he didn't answer. And I followed up with another text that said, do you still want to go on the date that we planned?
I just want you guys to know what we hear when you say, do you have a girlfriend over? It's like, this is what we hear. You're saying, do you have a girlfriend? And what we hear is, are you a liar? Are you lying? Are you a liar? Are you lying? Do you mentir?
Are you a fuckboy?
Por que você mentirá? Huh? And then we just keep hearing, I'm like, this is the type of bitch I would be like, yeah, I do have a girlfriend. Are we done? we finished. Patrice O'Neal had this funny joke where he's like, "This is the type of where I
I don't
start
get why they
hiding
like.
shit
Am I
just so I can
tripping?
blame
I need
her
to
for
check out some
stealing it."
Patrice O'Neal shit.
You put shit in her purse.
Most of my friends that are comics, most are at best okay and usually awkward or bad at talking to women.
Yeah.
A lot of comics.
Most comics are, yeah.
Yeah. That's usually like one
Guys
of the,
that came up weren't.
No?
No. Patrice.
Oh, he
Patrice
knows
was ridiculous. Patrice could actually insult them all the way into the bedroom.
It's so
Wow.
And
crazy.
they would just be walking in going, I know, you're right. You're right.
But those are the broken girls, and broken girls you can always manipulate.
Sure.
At
Listen,
any
don't-
level, right?
No, let me tell you. It's still work.
Yeah.
It's just something that women won't understand because you guys don't have to convince people to have sex with you. It's one of the
No.
great things.
Yeah.
That's-
But like
yeah.
Bobby Kelly back in the day, phenomenal.
At talking to chicks?
Phenomenal.
Really?
Phenomenal. No, like there were legends in New York. I was not part of that group.
You were not in the Legend Crew?
No, dude, come on. I look like Ron Howard. It was like I just always had to work. But there was. I don't want to like
But Patrice, I had heard about. I mean, even a few years ago, about his. I mean, I knew he was gifted. Obviously, I mean, hear his stand up on shows, but I heard stories about him with women about how.
No, it was
amazing.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous. It made no sense, and he was so good at making them uncomfortable that they ignored all of his imperfections that were just right in front of their face. Like one time, we were sitting. I know I've told this. I think I told this one on Opie and Anthony. We were sitting down the cellar. This was one of his classics, and there was three women. And they were excited, and it was a loud bar, and they were talking. So women when they talk loud, they go,
yeah.
And he just yelled over at one. He's like, "Ma'am, miss, ma'am," and she finally looks over. She's gorgeous, and she's like, "What?" And he goes, "Your voice." She goes, "Is it loud?" And he goes, "It's piercing." and we just started laughing at her, and it took her a second to regroup. And I don't know what happened. 5 minutes later, all three of them, gorgeous, are standing around Patrice, and he has them auditioning to see who has the best phone sex voice, and they're doing it.
Unreal.
Because he had them all convinced that despite how they looked, their voices were so annoying that most guys actually secretly didn't like them, wanted them to shut up, and didn't want to hear their opinions.
Yeah.
And they bought into that.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're trying to prove to him that they can be sexy. And they were like, they were all nines.
Yeah.
Like a 9 in New York, too.
Yeah. Super smoking.
Yeah.
hot.
So that was...
incredible.
I saw one time walked up to a girl, and she was gorgeous, and she had this little scar on her forehead. And he comes walking up with his big stupid finger. She was sitting down, and he goes, "I like that." And he pointed right at her scar, and she was like mortified. And that's just how he would. You just started off balance with him,
Yeah.
and then he just kept pushing your shoulder verbally every time you would start to regain your footing. He would find something else, and he would just trash you for an hour.
And then you loved him.
Yeah, no, some nights you hated him. You literally wanted to kill him. Like he would make you so many, he would start laughing at you. It was brutal. I beat him once in 20 years of knowing him.
At the
one
game,
time, which is
basically?
inevitable. I
Yeah,
mean, it's inevitable
yeah.
at least once you're going to win.
Yeah.
I just got him. We were on the phone. It was a 3-way call, me, him, and Bobby. And I was using all of his techniques, which made him mad.
Yeah.
And then he was off his game. He didn't talk to me for like 3 days. He was so upset. But it was literally like, when they drag some idiot out of the stands and he hits a half-court shot.
Sure,
You drag enough idiots out there, eventually someone's going to hit it.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. But other than that, I think, so I was basically 1 in 17,000.
Conversations with him.
No, he pounded. Yeah, we used to gang up on him.
And he could still.
We gang up on him, and you'd get him for a little. It's just like I can't. It's like one of those video games you just can't defeat.
Yeah.
Unless you go online and you get the cheats. The cheats where we would gang up on, try to gang up on him, and he would still effortlessly. And then you'd hope you'd have solidarity with the person that you ganged up on, and then he'd get you with something, and then your friend just had to start laughing at you, and then you were done. Then you were done. And then they wanted Patrice to stop trashing them, so then they would pile on with Patrice, and then it was brutal. So then you'd have to try to get it off you onto somebody else. And you just,
That's so awful.
It's so
awful. Sounds terrible.
No, it made us better. We used to go downstairs at the cellar, and you'd be upstairs, and you'd have some new bit, and somebody would hate your joke. Like Keith would hate it, or Patrice would hate it. It just as long as one person hated it, they would bring it up and start saying how awful a joke it was, and then everybody would pile on, and then you have to be like, "Fuck you, I'm still doing the joke," and then you go downstairs to do the joke, and everyone would be staring at you during your set, dude, and it was brutal. Wow. And even if you committed and the joke got a laugh, Patrice had a laugh that was so loud he could shut the crowd up.
Yeah.
And he knew when to laugh. He just knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was a nightmare.
Yeah.
He was a nightmare. I loved him to death, but when he was on you, it was a fucking nightmare. And it didn't end when you went on stage.
Right. I don't get what the deal is with this Patrice O'Neal
guy. Well, that's why we look at all these fucking people now. Like, I can't even relate to him. Like, this whole new thing. It's like nobody I feel like this old guy, like, hey, we used to give each other shit.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't supportive, but it was supportive because you were...
No, you're helping each other out with that. Yeah. For sure.
Well, that certainly made, like, somebody heckling you after that point of sitting there having Norton, Keith, Voss, and Patrice on your ass at the same time, and then Kevin Hart came along. If you had all 5 of them trashing you, like, when you went on stage and somebody heckled you, it was hilarious.
Yeah. Because you just dealt with fucking 5 of the
professionals.
Yeah, professionals, yeah. Yeah, that's so
professionals,
ridiculous. Yeah. What you're describing is so foreign to me in comedy.
There were comics who literally avoided going to the cellar
just because of that,
or they would just go downstairs and do their set and then they leave. They wouldn't go upstairs to the table.
Really?
Yeah, and the whole table came about, I think, because of Patrice, because Patrice got kicked out of the club. So we loved him so much, we just would go where he was. So he would be like in front of the club. So we would all just go outside, and they didn't know how to deal. And I remember they were telling him he had to leave, and he was just like, "Oh, else what?" He's like, "You'll never, ever, ever, never play this club." He's like, "I'm already kicked out of here, motherfucker." So we were all just laughing. So then he
got kicked out of the club, though, like out of the cellar.
The cellar kicked him out.
Why?
I forget why. Okay. I forget why. He just for being Patrice, right?
Yeah. Okay.
and in defense of them, they were probably right on a lot of levels. So he got kicked out. So, but he held court. So it's just so he was sitting out in front of the place. So instead of hanging out up there, we were then outside, and then we were being loud. The loudness was now out there, and people were walking by, and they were trying to bark, and I don't know if they thought it was a bad idea. So then what they did, then they let him back in the club because they realized they didn't have any power over him once they kicked him out. He was out there like, what else are you going to do? It's like a guy who has a life with no parole. He just stabbed someone in the shower. What, are you going to stick me in the cell,
Yeah.
So, and he would be shitting all over him, and we would laugh our ass off. So then they let him back in the club, and then that's when they came up with the table because they were trying to contain it, to keep it. It was hilarious. It's like they put us on timeout, and when they didn't, this is your table. You got a place to sit and all that. So then they would probably argue that this isn't true, but I'm convinced of it. So then we sat down back there, and then it was epic because then Manny, rest his soul, who was still alive, loved to argue in politics and that type of stuff, and then him and Patrice would go at it. And you had this guy who was just the greatest ever at making fun of your head and your shirt and then with a guy who was an unbelievably well-read guy, and they would talk about world events. So you had this guy, it was just, they were just epic battles, and then that's when the whole thing kind of took off, and Tough Crowd came out of that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, everybody. Geraldo was there.
Sense,
Geraldo, Colin Quinn, Nick DiPaolo, Jim Norton, Rich Voss, Patrice O'Neal, Keith Robinson, Bobby Kelly. It was insane. And if you came down there and you wore the wrong shirt, it was fucking over. It was over. I remember one time Keith wore the wrong shirt, and we got him on we just started to get on him so bad. He stood up and he ran out of the club. And I was so fucking mad. I was like, you can do that? I didn't know you could do that. I thought you just had to sit here and take it.
You make it sound so much more fun
Yeah.
than anything I've experienced doing.
It's so business
depressing
now.
here.
I remember when Jim Norton came down, he had his first CD. He goes, hey, I got my new CD. And somebody said, hey, let me take a look at that. And they just broke it in half. He threw it on the ground, poured a bunch of drinks on it, and it was just... And he laughed his ass off.
I would have died if somebody did
He laughed
that.
his ass. That was it was really childish.
Yeah.
Yeah, God forbid you were standing anywhere with something in your hand. It was going to get slapped out of your hand.
That's right.
Cell phones, bag of chips, anything.
Yeah.
And it was always funny. It was so stupid.
Sure.
It was always funny.
Well, what I was thinking is what you're describing doesn't take me, in my mind, in my experiences, to the world of stand-up. That takes me to like middle school, high school. That feels like all the shit that I would do and did with friends in school. But in my stand-up experience,
it was immature as hell, and it never stopped.
That's
You'd be
awesome.
sitting at home, and you'd pick up the phone, and you'd just pick it up, and it would just be like somebody had someone else on three-way, and you'd be sitting at home, and they would just trash you about something. I don't know what. I remember one night Patrice took a night off, and everybody found out that he took a night off, and I think Norton and somebody else called, and they called him at home at like between their spots at like 9:30 at night, and he picked up the phone, and they just, what the fuck are you doing home at 9:30 on a Saturday? And he just started roaring laughing, and they trashed him for like 10 minutes and just hung up on him.
that's great.
So,
But don't you, I think that's a really good way. I think as comics, we're all inherently angry and sometimes jealous and hate each other. I think our generation, we just talk shit behind each other's backs.
As opposed to each
It's
other's
just being like,
face,
fuck you, piece of shit, and then you get it out. Like Matt Fulcheron said that musicians are united by the bands they have in common. Comics are united by the comedians they hate.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
No, it was a lot of fun, but I also, in all of that, we always laugh. We didn't write one script. We didn't pitch one show. So the funniest guys I ever met. I ever met. Like they were unreal. And Patrice was the king. Like you walked in, if he wasn't there, you were relieved. And there were nights when you were on a roll and you were killing someone at the table, and then he starts walking in, like your heart would sink. Like, oh fuck, here we go, here we go, here we go. Now it's the real deal. Dad's home. You know?
Yeah, man. God, we don't have that at all here.
Eddie If said the funniest thing one time. He goes, dude, sometimes like I'll come walking into the cellar. And he goes, he would, just as he walked in, Patrice would be killing at the table, and then just see Eddie come in and be like, and just start yelling over at him. And Eddie said that I would literally think, fuck, he saw me.
Yeah.
No, he used to do, I remember when the old Boston Comedy Club, one night, he was trashing people so well. There was a firehouse right next door, and the guys, if there wasn't a fire, they'd just be hanging out there, and they would die and laughing after an hour of Patrice trashing everybody, taking on all comers. One of the firemen went up to Patrice and said, good set. It was awesome. Like, and he got such a kick out of that. He was standing outside. That was right around the corner from, which is now like a fucking wine bar or something. Jesus Christ, I'm old.
Oh, that's and one of the funniest things, by the way, because we have a lot of, obviously, stand-up fans. God damn, his original HBO half hour is fucking amazing. Patrice's. It's so good. And
he's got that. He's got the Showtime one.
He's got the Showtime one, and then he's got the
Elephant in a Room. He's got Mr. P.
Yes, Mr. P. Everything's great. But the great thing about watching that HBO half hour is that it's all like every bit starts with like provoking, unlikable statements, and like you could tell it's not an audience. It's like, we're on board with whatever you say. He says something, and they're like, huh, and then he kills with that. Like he says something that they're not like necessarily in agreement with, and then destroys the room. And then that bit ends. He says something else, and they're like, and then fucking kills with that. It's amazing. He's fucking it's totally amazing.
He probably made the most people cry from stage I've ever
Really?
seen. Yeah.
He was just relentless with when he got on somebody. I bet, right? Like when
No, but he wasn't malicious though.
Right.
That was the thing. He wasn't malicious. Like he never went after anybody like in the crowd. But if somebody was annoying him, it was over.
Really?
And they that's one of the things I miss most about him is that experience of getting to see somebody meet him for the first time, and just they always thought, all right, he's this big dude. They always are looking for him to get physical, so they never saw, that he was going to come at them the way he did, and he would. Oh,
right.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Like a year and a half ago, and started listening to O&A, and then when I heard about your show back in April, I listened. And I've listened to everyone since then, and I was in like a rut, and I got this epiphany through you of talking about losing ego and just being straightforward, don't lie, and stuff like that. Just tell them who you are. And I've gotten laid more in the past 6 months than I have in 3 years.
All right, Phil.
But I have discovered one thing. There are some women that can't handle it.
Well, that's the whole thing, sir. The thing is, it's something you call, like I said, it's from this movie War Games. You got to watch this game. There's two principles to this. One principle is you cannot. It's whose happiness is more important. That's the game you play. Whose happiness is more important? First, that's the game. Yours. Second principle is from this movie War Games, where the part
only way to win is not to play.
Only way to win. Strange game, Professor Falcon. The only winning move is not to play. Now, if the bitch don't want to play your game, you don't play. That's all it is. My happiness is the game. So if I feel something, if you feel something, that means it's valid. If I feel it in my gut, that means there's something going on. So if I'm going to fucking say it. I'm not going to bite my tongue. I'm going to tell you how I feel. Okay, sweetie, I'm not taking you out on another date. I've been on 3 dates with you. I know I want to fuck you. I don't know if you want to fuck me, but I already know I want to fuck you. If you don't want to fuck me, figure it out. But we're not going on any more food excursions so I can do something for you and you not doing shit for me.
What about the whole courting process? Like, Randy, I'm glad for you.
The courting process of who? Who needs the courting process? Me or you?
Well, I think everybody does.
No.
No, both men and women.
You're shitting.
Because it
You're
builds
shitting.
up. It builds up to this, like, great, almost like building a...
No, it builds up for you.
But don't...
We will fuck you today. We don't have to take you to dinner. Let me ask you a question, and this is for any guy listening. Do you have your girl, if she's with you and all that shit, you can look forward and don't have to look her in the eye, but did you have to like her to fuck her? Did you have to like your woman before you fucked her? Matter of fact, if you don't like a bitch that much before you fuck her, better sex.
You
get a better fuck. Because I don't have any concerns for your hip being in a funny position.
And
I don't care that I pull some of your hair out.
That is a fundamental difference. I was just talking about this with my friend tonight, a guy friend of mine, who I've slept with, who I've never had sex with, because we don't want to ruin the friendship.
I'm sorry, what does that mean? I don't understand.
We've been in the same bed. We've never had sex.
And he don't want to fuck you?
No, he does. But we don't.
So why are you holding him hostage?
I'm not.
You
I mean, he doesn't, but he doesn't. He stopped. Because, like, not.
Now, this is the shit. Now, this is the shit. Whoa. This is the shit that Randy had to deal with, right? Because he thinks if he had enough patience with that, you know what you do with that shit?
What?
If I snuggle you against my will,
yes,
the next day I go, I don't never want to see you again. I never want to see you again.
If you snuggled me against your will,
yes.
How would it be against your will?
You know what?
It'd be the same thing as me taking your pussy against your will.
It's a lot of,
same
you know what it is?
You're talking about emotional rape.
No, wait, yes. But hold on, Karen, wait a minute. A lot of women sell men on implied,
and that is wrong.
Future pussy.
That is wrong. That is very wrong.
You do it too.
It is wrong. No, I don't.
Implied future pussy.
No, I don't.
I'm not investing in a product that I don't have a clue what it's about.
Even you don't know if you like them. Like it's fundamentally different.
Even if somebody turn to my go. Even if I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Even if you have a new drug that you don't know if it works or not, you still get a fucking piece of paper that explains what the drug is. And you get a fucking taste of the product. You can't be sold on an implied product. Turn the mic back on. Sorry, Kathy, I don't want to talk over you. Look how mad she is. Look at her. I'm changing the theme music, too.
Well, if I went
to Sanford and Son. Hold on, Randy. Randy, her new theme music is Sanford and Son. I have to beat her into submission.
Randy, sweetheart, can I just tell you something? I appreciate the fact that you're being honest with them, and I think guys do the same BS things that girls do. They go into stuff not really saying what their intentions are, and because you've gone in with your intentions,
because you know what our intentions are.
No. Well, okay, maybe we.
Yeah, you do know.
Exactly.
But you know what? If you're gonna play, you start playing the game. If guys do what
Did you
Randy
hear?
does,
Okay, time out, Gareth. I have to hit you with the points you're making to substantiate what I'm saying. The game we're playing.
Yeah.
You know the game is, and it's been in your favor for years. You know we want an implied product.
Right.
You're going to make us do things so long for this implied product.
But if it's worth it, it's good.
It ain't worth it.
Who the fuck knows it?
I know mine's worth it.
The more you make me wait, the less it's worth it. The more you make me wait, the less it's worth it.
Give me an example of one thing, a specific thing you did to a specific woman, and you went, holy fuck, this shit works.
Told her I want to fuck you.
Really?
I mean,
and this is something you never did before.
No, hell no. No, I'd be like, oh, let's go out to dinner, let's go to a movie, and then hope.
Hope. So wait a minute, though. So, okay, give me a little bit of, okay, so you met the chick, you met this particular girl. Where'd you meet her?
At a bookstore.
At a bookstore.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, the nigga was trying to find. He was looking for books how to get your dick bigger.
Pimping for dummies.
Pimping for dummies. Ball hanging. Is it really something that hangs? It was a bunch of shit like that. So you met her. Did you take her on a date?
Well, I had cappuccino with her.
Yeah, you did a respectful little something.
The courting. What are you talking about? The courting.
But you didn't go the whole, okay, I'm going to take her this, I'm going to bring her that, flowers.
No.
You just said, look, I really want to fuck you. And you know what it is? Again, this is I think this is new to the show. It may not be. But it's their emotions versus your logic. So if you say to a girl, I would love to eat your pussy right now, her reaction is going to be emotional. You have to be logical and make her go. You have to convince her that she needs to be letting you eat her pussy right now.
Here's the thing.
Something that makes her go, what?
If she likes you, she'll go, oh, you're so crazy, which is an implication the fact that she wants you to without being pissed off about it.
But since you know we're emotional, why don't you fucking use that?
Wait a minute. Whoa. Time out, Kareth. We've been, Randy, and thank you for calling, Randy. I really appreciate it, too.
Oh, thank you.
Randy has been trying it your way is the way.
The nice guy way.
The nice guy way is the woman's way. That's your way.
Right.
And he's saying, this man is saying, he has been doing that way forever.
But Randy, have you been looking for sex with that or for a real relationship with that?
Guys don't look for a real relationship.
Yes, they do. You are an animal.
No, they don't.
We're all animals.
They don't.
Some guys do want real relationships.
No, but they want sex first, and then if the sex is good and I like you,
I know that.
Okay, so that's the prerequisite, and if that's the prerequisite, then address the fact that that's the prerequisite.
Randy, thanks for calling, man. Hang on.
I don't get it.
So, next up on the chopping block, XM satellite radio DJs Opie and Anthony. They're under fire now for airing joking comments about raping Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Will they be the next to go? Is radio cleaning house after the Imus debacle? With me now, New City President Sonia Osorio. She took part in a recent protest calling for radio stations to stop supporting negative language in music and talk radio, and also our favorite stand-up comic, Patrice O'Neal.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Patrice, Are O&A next?
I hope not. I wish JV and Elvis didn't lose their job or Imus. It's funny. This is the thing. I don't know her, but I'm assuming that she has nothing to do with funny. So I'm gonna speak as the expert on funny. Funny people should just be left to trying to be funny.
What if they're not funny?
Then you made a mistake. But how many times has how many unfunny rape jokes lead to rape? Like,
I don't know how many jokes about rape there are.
There's a lot. But your world is not funny. Your world is next on the big story. My world is people trying to be funny.
Well, I mean, you think it's okay to try to make jokes about rape?
I'm diabetic. I make fun of that. I'm a victim. I might lose a toe. But I'm trying to make fun of. I'm trying to make fun of anything I think I can make fun of.
Sonia?
You know, what's happening now is the marketplace is deciding what's appropriate or what's not appropriate. I think the nation is just tired. There's a new mood in the nation.
What nation?
The nation. You know what? We're tired of things that are just
Is this the nation, this paper, and you? I'm not the nation. I'm just speaking for me and funny. You're speaking for the nation, or you're speaking for...
Yeah, you know why? Because I remember 6 years ago doing something against Anthony Openy because they were just so outrageous, and their violent images that they put out to women was just uncalled for. And now I think people...
You think they were trying to be funny?
I think now people in this country...
Do you think they were trying to be funny?
Tired. You know what? I don't care if they were trying to be funny.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you in that business?
I've been to your show once, and it wasn't very funny being a woman.
It was hilarious.
When you talked about...
That's why she doesn't like me. I was in the paper with her, and the joke is hilarious. It's called The Angry Pirate. And the lady who wrote it in her outrage didn't even know what it meant. And anybody who read it laughed because they know what funny... You're not living in the context of funny. You're living in the context of fire.
Have every right to be as funny as they want. They can go out and try to be as funny as they want, make as much money being as funny as they want. This is what's happening. There is a change in this country. People are realizing they have an opportunity to speak out, and advertisers are listening. Radio stations are listening.
You're not talking to who I talk to.
And you're not going to get paid as much money anymore.
Sonia and Patrice,
That's
look
what
at
it
this.
is. The marketplace
More
is
CBS
speaking.
radio firings. They've been on a tear lately.
All right.
Are they cleaning house, or is this the PC cops run amok?
You know what it is, John. You know what it is while you're reading that paper. It's the PC cops run amok.
Do you think she's a PC cop?
Of course she is. She has an entire encyclopedia of her stance on it, but it's no passion involved. It's not a real... This is just what she has to say. We are outraged and fired and fired and fired. Name calling. I'm outraged. I am outraged.
You should be outraged.
I am a fool. Now, if I called you a fool,
You know what? People are feeling a new sense of entitlement.
Who are these
to
people
decency in this country?
Who are the people?
A new
How can
sense
you,
of
Patrice, so
entitlement
here's my question. How can you justify a bad joke, a joke that isn't funny? Wait a minute. Go ahead. An attempt that isn't funny, doesn't get any laughs, and is about raping the first black woman to ever become the Secretary of State of the United States.
Throw that at me.
Well, why not?
The attempt is what I'm trying to fight for. The joke funny jokes and unfunny jokes are come out of the same birth. That you don't know if anything is going to be funny. You should attempt to be able to make anything funny.
Don't you think a joke about rape is doomed to be not funny?
It's possible, but I've heard them.
You've heard a funny rape joke?
I say a couple. Watch my HBO special. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, Patrice says that if you're having sex with a woman, doggy style, and if you hit her in the head just the right time.
No, it's ejaculate in her eye and kick her in the shin, and she walks around like, arg! It's the angry pirate. That's what she was trying to say.
A violent act of hitting her in the back of her head, her body.
It's called the donkey punch.
Which will then...
Why are you laughing? She's outraged. It's called the donkey punch. It's whole humor that she has no clue what it is.
We have the same problem that Opie and Anthony does. You can't say just anything on the air.
You can say anything you want. It might not be funny. You might get in trouble for it, but you should be able to be attempting. And plus, when is a crazy bum going to get an opportunity to rape the president? If the president's wife, John? It was trying to be funny.
All right, Patrice, why aren't I hearing Al Sharpton complain about this thing involving Congress?
Because it wasn't involving young black women.
Well, it's involving a very prominent black woman.
Well, where was she during Young Black? Everybody has their agenda.
I was there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, excuse me.
But why am I not hearing from Sharpton?
Because it doesn't concern him. It's not concerning him. It's black. It's, you know, come on now. You know Al Sharpton has his agenda, and it was perfect for Al. Young black women. And now she's representing just women in general. She's not representing the nappy hoe part. She's representing just the hoe. The nappy-headed part, she has nothing to do with. Just the hoe.
Sonia?
You know what? Women have been abused publicly in the media for too long, and people are tired of it. This has been a beautiful response of just the general public saying to advertisers, we're your consumers. We don't want to have to avoid everything in the street. We don't want to have to worry about what radio station we turn on. And there is some really derogatory, violent thing to deal with.
You're going to get all your information, ma'am, is secondhand from someone making you aware that someone may have said something that you should be upset about. It's a shame. Your constituency, the people you represent aren't all victims in this matter.
Patrice O'Neal, thank you very much. Sonia Osorio, thanks to both of you. Appreciate it. Time for Big Politics.
He didn't destroy her.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, one time there was this transvestite, and Patrice was holding court in front of the cellar, and I believe he was kicked out of the cellar at that point, but they couldn't stop him from hanging out there because upstairs was a restaurant. It was like this technicality, and I think they also knew that if Patrice hung out at the Boston Comedy Club, we all would have just done our sets and gone over to the Boston because you had to be around him. So he's sitting there, and he's trashing everybody, and all of a sudden this transvestite came down the street, and I don't know what the fuck he said to her. But she just stopped in her tracks, and she was all about it. And she got right in his grill. He was sitting down, of course, as always. And she was standing up, he, she, whatever the fuck you say. And they just started going at it. And I remember one of the first ones she hit him with, and she wasn't scared at all. She hit him with, like, what he told us was an old street joke. But she said that he had so many spaces between his teeth, it looked like his tongue was in jail. And we all were like, wow, we all died laughing, right? And Patrice goes, that's a stock line. And he sized her up in 2 seconds. Was like, all right, so this girl, she knows a bunch of fucking street jokes. So what he did was he threw like a light one, an easy one, and then he just like Ali laid back on the ropes, let her get like her next 3 fucking. I bought a Snaps book, and then he just started in on her and fucking just totally turned because I was like, oh my god, Patrice is gonna lose to a fucking transvestite, this is great. You know. And then all of a sudden he turned it around, and I'm telling you, they just went blow for blow. And like I'm telling you, some of the funniest comics in New York at that country at that point were some of the funniest ones in the country, I feel. And we became audience members, and we shut up. A comedian, we all shut up and sat there and just watched them volley back and forth. And Patrice finally, started turning the tide. So she started walking away, was still running her mouth. She never quit, but she left. And I remember Jeff Ross looked at me and just shook his head after it and said, that's the most unbelievable fucking thing I've ever seen. And I was just like, it was one of those things you saw it, and as a performer, you wish you did it.
Yeah.
The same way you saw Eddie Van Halen, you'd listen to him play guitar and you'd be driving in your car fantasizing that you were doing it. Like,
or no. The equivalent to especially any comic listening to this right now, is you in Philly.
Oh, that's
one of those moments where I saw it and I went, oh, I wish that had been me. I would have never been able to do that.
And that's how performers look at that shit. And that's one of the highest compliments. So I really appreciate that.
I'm telling you, I literally.
Well, if you watch that
I thought you were gonna say, if you want, just go perform in Philly.
But you don't stop talking, do you? Like, fuck it, I'll just cook this side for a while, just... You know what's funny? I'm cooking my brain talking about nothing. I'm just walking around like, yeah, I just got a cheeseburger. Oh, fuck all you people. You know what, you fucking losers? I hope you all fucking die, and I hope the fucking Eagles never win the Super Bowl. Go fuck yourselves. Fuck all you motherfuckers, and fuck the Flyers. Fuck all of you. Fucking goddamn fucking losers. Boo and Dom Herrera. Suck a dick. All of you. Suck a fucking dick. How's that? No, I'm segueing into my next joke. You can all lick my fucking red nuts. All of you. You can line up in your Harold Carmichael fucking jerseys, and one at a time, you can all suck my dick. City of brotherly love, you bunch of fucking cocks. Just walking around again. Fucking goddamn losers. 52 fucking hours into a show. The fuck am I gonna do at this point? You people on a goddamn acid. Fucking be up here talking about Hitler, that ain't gonna work. What do you want me to talk about? Hey, throw out some topics. Let's talk about heart disease, something you're all gonna fucking die of, and I'm gonna laugh at your fucking funerals. It's gonna be great. You're all gonna get fucking cancer, which is fantastic, because all your fucking heads are shaved anyways. No one's even gonna notice. You're gonna get fired for coming to work too late, because they're not gonna notice that you have fucking bone marrow cancer. The only thing's gonna give it away is me laughing at you in the fucking background. You fucking bunch of losers with your fucking cell phone pictures. Fucking suck a dick. Fucking assholes. 11 more minutes of this. I hope you all get in your Ford Focuses and fucking drive off the side of that faggot-ass Ben Franklin Bridge. You fucking one bridge having piece of shit city that no one gives a fuck about. The terrorists will never bomb you people because you're fucking worthless and no one cares about you. You are this high above New Orleans. No one gives a shit. FEMA would never show up for you fucking assholes. I hope your mother has herpes in the center of her asshole and you go home tonight, you lick it, you get it on your tongue, and some other horrific shit happens that involves cancer. To all of you, 11 minutes left. 11 minutes. I hope somebody takes a fucking beer stein and just slaps you on the back of your zit-infested fucking shoulders and your awful man-tit tank tops. I hope that happens to you. I hope the glass fucking digs into your fucking shoulder blade. And then I see you afterwards. Hey, how's it going? You enjoy the fucking show? That's great. And I grab you by the fucking hair, but you don't have any. Did it really have to come to this, people? Did it really have to come to it? I really hope all of you run into all those black people that you love so much here in Camden. I really hope that happens. I hope there's a line of all of you guys getting fucking carjacked and they take out their big black dicks and they just shove them right in your fucking mouths, each and every one of you, and somehow they just keep repeatedly coming right in your fucking eyeballs until it builds up so much that your eyes, they fucking crust over. You can't see shit. And somehow there's another dick in there for you to suck. 10 minutes left. Look at you. This is what you want. Is this what you want? It's a fucking... Bunch of fucking losers. Fucking Rocky is your hero. The whole pride of your city is built around a fucking guy who doesn't even exist. You got fucking Joe Frazier is from there, but he's black, so you can't fucking deal with him. So you make a fucking statue for some 3-foot fucking Italian, you stupid Philly cheese-eating fucking jackasses. I hope that cheese melts your fucking faces off. All of you collectively suck a fucking dick. A fucking booby 9 hours into a fucking show. Look at you in your fucking Donovan McNabb shirt. I hope he snaps both his fucking ankles in the first goddamn game. I hope you go 0 and fucking 16. I said suck a dick. 8 minutes left. 8 fucking minutes left. The Flyers, do they even fucking exist anymore? Bunch of goddamn pansies. Haven't won shit since fucking Gerald Ford was in office. Why don't you just have the fucking ice capades down there, you assholes? You probably won't even notice the difference. teams. Remember they had that whole season where they wore the slacks? You bunch of faggots. What else? What else? I attacked your mothers. It's 8 minutes. I'm doing it all. I'm fucking standing here. Look, I broke the mic stand. I got a little fucking cane now. I'm gonna be the little observational comedian up here. What's that, sir? What do you have to say, sir? Never passed the fucking 8th grade. What brilliant shit are you gonna fucking tell me, huh? Go back to the dock and go unload some shit. You fucking warehouse working, weed smoking, fucking disappointment for your mother. 7 minutes left. 7 motherfucking minutes left. And I'm doing all fucking 7. You fucking assholes. Fucking standing backstage for 3 hours to get booed by this GED fucking stupid ass piece of shit fucking crowd. Bunch of fucking losers. I hope your fucking radios fall on your head tomorrow. The fucking antenna goes right in your fucking ears.
If I hadn't already
You fall out of one of those piece of shit buildings. Fuck all of you and fuck the Liberty Bell. And shove it up Ben Franklin's ass. What do you think about that? All of you motherfuckers, I hope that bridge collapses onto your pathetic lives. Go fuck yourselves. 6 minutes left, and I will be selling my CD after this shit, you motherfuckers. And the only way you get one is if I throw one at your fucking stupid heads. You bunch of racist fucking morons. Look at this. What are you taking a picture of, E-Rock, huh? This is the most, I'm saying all the shit I wanted to say for 14 minutes. This right here is the theme of my set, a broken mic stand. 3 motherfucking minutes left. 3 fucking minutes left. What's left? The Phillies, that faggot-ass team named after a female horse. You bunch of pussies. You won 1 fucking World Series since 1880s. Suck a dick. Bring Tug McGraw back from the dead, you fucking jackasses. Maybe you'll win another one. It ain't ever happening. It ain't ever fucking happening with your red candy striped faggot fucking uniforms. Your team should be selling cotton candy in the fucking instructional leagues. Do you have a soccer team? That's all I got left, huh? You got a fucking ping pong team? Some other shit-ass fucking team that's never gonna win a championship? You guys haven't won a Super Bowl since they had face masks, you fucking jackass. Roman Gabriel running around a fucking leather helmet. Ah, suck a dick. What was he, your dad or something? You don't know who the fuck he is. Ironed my fucking shirt for this shit. Went to the Banana Republic, picked a $20 shirt off the rack. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Getting booed by people sitting in the fucking grass. Goddamn launch seats. It's fun, isn't it? It's great. I'm actually getting fucking paid right now, people. I'm getting paid to shit all over you guys and your stupid fucking rock t-shirts of bands that no one gives a fuck about. 4 minutes left. You with your Rush fucking t-shirts. I beat the shit out of my girlfriend. That felt great. It really felt great. I want to thank you guys for having me. You guys were phenomenal. Each and every... Oh no, I got 4 minutes left. I got 4 fucking minutes left to fucking talk about you cunts. That's not bad. That's not bad. 12-minute rant. That was the first time I said cunt. That's a fucking record. I'm gonna finish my set by taking this mic stand base like a fucking disc. I hope I hit a baby in the fucking head. The one fucking kid who would actually go to college in this fucking crowd. What's that, sir? Dave Chappelle, yes, he's not here. I wish I was on his fucking tour right now. Maybe I wouldn't have a bunch of cunts not fucking paying attention 4 hours into a goddamn show. 3 fucking minutes left. 3 minutes left in this motherfucking tirade. Boring! What's that? Sir, why are you screaming? You're in the front row, you dumb fuck. God, I hope this whole crowd, I just hope mass AIDS full blown. Like fucking you get weak as you walk to your fucking cars. You just pass out and they just find you next to your 83 fucking Monte Carlo with gravel embedded into the side of your fucking bald ass fucking heads.
Bill.
Yes.
What about Vincent Papalio?
What about what?
Vincent Papalio.
What about not fucking interrupting me, you jackass? Play a fucking record, you
Patrice's
son of a
idea,
bitch.
sorry.
I'm fucking trying to deal with this bullshit. Jesus Christ, the goddamn people on the show are giving me shit. So anyways, back to the jokes. I got a computer recently, people. Fucking motherfuckers. I put in 2 minutes left. The last 2 minutes is gonna be my rider for the rest of this fucking tour. I go on first, I do 3 minutes. That's it. I come out here with a fucking gun, right? That's what I do. I come out with a fucking gun, hollow tip bullets, and I just start fucking shooting people, okay? And everybody's chained to their fucking chairs. I just blow all your fucking brains out, like just one after another. Just fucking walk, 2 to the back of the head, never ending, coming out like a fucking Mexican with those 2 fucking crosses of bullets. I just blow all your fucking brains out. I would really enjoy blowing everybody's brains out. Just fucking, just the next day, somebody mopping up the 3 pounds of fucking brains that are actually in this goddamn crowd. 1 minute left in the period. All right, listen. This doesn't change anything, this set. I still fucking hate you people. And I hate this fucking city. I hate the way you eat, your little shitty-ass fucking Subway. And why don't you fucking build something for Joe Frazier and get that fucking idiot. You guys all gonna go see Rocky 19? Oh, dude, I think you can win. Listen, I'm out of time. You guys were here, man. Thank you very much. All of you go fuck yourselves in your own assholes. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, just go out. Yeah, show any sort of weakness in the anywhere in Philly. But when you watch me when I yell at the DJ, like I'm trying to fucking work something out here.
Yeah.
He was actually relaying something Patrice said because all the comics came to the side of the stage and were watching it by the end.
Yeah.
And he yelled out "Invincible." That's what he yelled out.
Oh.
Which would have been perfect because I would have been like, your fucking Eagles suck so bad. Some guy from a bar gets a tryout on your team. Not only gets a tryout, he makes your fucking team and has an impact, right? Like I could have gone on forever, but I didn't. Like I was so in attacking anything that talked to me.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad because the DJ, and because he kind of pointed over at Patrice, which was funny because me and Patrice weren't really talking at that time because we had that big fucking battle on O&A because of that fucking idiot radio show.
Yeah.
And that Philly thing was the first time we were backstage. We actually started like fucking talking again like friends because
I heard that live that you and Patrice. You were on the phone, right?
Yeah. And that's the worst thing about the internet. It was like a 3-month fight in our relationship, but it lives on forever.
Yeah.
And people still ask me about that. And it was just, we were doing this guy's show, and the guy was just, the second I walked into the studio, he was just giving me shit. And I was thinking like I remember I came walking in the studio and and they'd already given me a water. And so like one of the guys working on the show goes, Bill, anything else you need or anything? I was like, no, I got a water. I'm good. All I need is some headphones. And he turns around and goes, we'll get you some cans. We'll get you some cans.
Who was this guy? Don't say it because maybe I might be friends with him.
I don't want to. All you got to do is listen to the thing. You'll hear who the fuck it is. I don't name names, right? So then I was just like, whoa. And he just kind of kept coming at me like that. So I thought it was like, okay, this guy thinks maybe I'm coming in from New York, so I think I'm better than him.
Yeah.
So I thought like this was some little hazing thing, like, okay, this guy's going to break my balls for a couple of breaks, and once I show that I have a sense of humor about myself, he's going to warm up. He never did. And in the middle of it, Patrice called in, and he accidentally cursed And I'm giving him shit for cursing or whatever, but I'm doing it more in like that cellar, hanging out in front of the cellar,
Yeah.
you big stupid head, this isn't satellite radio, blah blah blah. But then, man, I'm gonna say his name.
I know.
Yeah, I already said it.
As soon as you said it, I went.
Yeah, he fucking hung up on him, and I didn't realize he hung up on him. But even then, I was just looking like, who gives a fuck? I didn't think it was that big a deal. And the episode ended like 2-3 hours later. The episode ends. And at the end of the episode, is right when my HBO special came out, and the guy was like on the air trashing, like making fun of my special. Like, so what do you got going on? And I was like, well, I got a half hour coming out on HBO. And I just came out on HBO. And he goes, really? I haven't heard anything about it. Something like that. And I was like, well, it's doing real well. And he goes, whatever. And it was one of those things, the second the show ends, he goes, hey, did you have a good time? And it's just like, yeah, man, I had a great time. All right, see you next time. Fucking whatever. What was that?
Yeah.
And it was after the episode. That's when me and Patrice first got into a fight, because I got off and all it was a message going, yeah, that guy's a dick, man. Give me a call. So I called him up, and I didn't realize that he was really upset by it. So I came at him in seller mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Just kind of do this and blah, blah, blah. And then I go, he hung up on you, jackass, or something. And he was like, a lot of people don't know he was really a sensitive guy. So that's what started off. So then he goes on Opie and Anthony, and then that started the whole, you don't tell me I taught you to do this. And then my ego goes, what the you fucking taught me to trash people?
Yeah.
Fucking met you when I was 25. I live in a quarter. And then it just was, and it was literally like, two fucking pit bulls in a ring. That wham, 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 wham.
Here's what I'm saying to you, Chris, and this is why I tried to get a little bit away from like just everybody's problem. I started trying to talk a little more about
I got a
things.
few. Hold on.
In general that might apply to you, because I think we've discussed more about things in general, just everybody's problem. Get a little bit away to you, Chris, and this is here's what I'm saying to you, Chris, and this is why I tried to get a little bit away from like just everybody's problem. I started trying to talk a little more about things in general that might apply to you, because I think we've discussed many times without you having to call in that this drawer full of women that's saying you're the best and you're this and you're that, you got to understand, dude, that we've already covered that in terms of this, in terms of it's your fucking fault.
That's right.
This is what they do. Like I said, I have some fish. I have a tank full of fish. I have some cichlids. Great fish. Every day I come downstairs, right? Those fish.
Chiclets?
Cichlids.
Oh.
So every time I come through downstairs, those motherfuckers swim to the side of the tank and go, yes, we getting ready to eat. That's the nigga that feeds me. And I feed them, and then I try to, like, maybe put my finger in the water to touch one. They go, ah! There's a nigga trying to touch me. That is what they do. So I have to learn how to coexist with what they are, with what I get out of them. So you have to learn how to get out of what you want out of a woman and let them be them. Because they are them without maliciousness. They live their life natural. Like Pam coming in, there's no malicious bone in Pam's body. She does what she does. Now, if I allow her to do what she does in my presence, that's my fault. Because it trickles down from you, Chris. They gonna write, look, my girl on Tuesday says, you always doing fucked up shit. I hate you. On Wednesday, we give a good fuck, and she's like, you fucked me like I was some new girl. I love you so. Are you okay? You need your back rub. If I paid attention to my happiness based on this fucking loon, how could I be happy? You can't base your happiness, Chris, on fucking girls and their love letters. They're like fish.
It wasn't just the letters. That was my mistake. Was I bought in to the bullshit that the guys get from a very early age, and I believed the idea that you should give and listen to women like that other tantric incense sniffing motherfucker who's there on the show.
Wow.
I think he's talking about Dante, no?
Must be Dante. Must be Dante.
Wait a minute. I gotta ask Chris a question. Did you pick up on anything? There was a lot of shit that was talked about on the show today. Did you pick up on anything that was talked about today on the show? Did you understand the philosophy? What's going on? Did you listen?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm gonna do?
A lot of it can be applied to his situation.
You know what I'm gonna do? We gotta figure this out. We're figuring this out right now. Hey, Chris, don't kill yourself. Keep going with the show. We're gonna figure this out, man. Thanks for calling. Listen, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure out what the right thing is. Because before, Danny, while he's doodling.
No, I'm listening.
Before, it was a lot of calls that were just, hey man, what's the best way to eat pussy? We know we're feeling it out.
Yeah.
We got too much knowledge between us that too much knowledge between everybody that we will just go, here's how you eat pussy. Damn. Plus, Jeff wouldn't do it. I think that's so.
No, you don't want to devolve to that. You got important shit to say, man. You have stuff to say.
I think the way I eat pussy should be discussed through spiritual.
Well, every girl likes
what's your pussy eating technique?
With a bib. I put on a bib.
You need a bib if you're doing it right.
I'm fucking neat, bro. What do you think I'm gonna get all messed up?
This is once this XM series thing happens and we figure out all this, like if we can get a weekly show, we're gonna figure this out. Because you gotta understand, I come back 2 months with a lot of anger, with a lot of shit. I just want to talk about everything.
Pent up.
I think once we get a weekly thing, if that ever happens, then we can get into exactly the brand that we're going to get into. Because Jeff is new. Jeff is going to be here from now on whenever we have shows. Jeff is part of the show now. You understand? Hopefully this
Pamela Page.
This bitch. What's the name? What's the name? Yeah. She'll be part, and of course the lovely Jacqueline. Just need Jacqueline. So, there's a lot of shit that we're trying to figure out during the show, and I know there's a lot of men that have problems, but you got to understand, dude. Every philosophy in here is based on having problems with women. It's not based on here's how you get. I don't give advice on how to pick up girls. I ain't know how to pick up girls. I know how to stay happy. I know that my girl's tears mean my smiles. That's what I know. My bitch the other day got a nice cry. You know what I mean? Got a nice cry because she came out. We was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and I go, she goes, wow, his wife really rides with him. His wife really backs him. And I go, and she goes, oh yeah, I back you like that too. I said, yeah, you do, sweetie. And then I said, but you know, that nigga got $500 million, so it's kind of easy to back a motherfucker with $500 million. Is that why you think I back you? So the whole world kind of imploded where now she's the one answer bitch. Hey, that was funny, right? Yeah. I go, okay, in my head, fuck you, bitch. Now I'm in me zone. And I let her know she could never hate me more than I hate her. Her hatred is moment to moment like a fish. Mine is real and it'll stay. And it's not vindictive or spiteful. It's just like, fuck you, bitch. Yeah. Let me get into me zone so I don't have to be one of these guys that say a thing like, every time we try to have fun, you Why would I do that? When I know that's what they do. They don't know how to have fun. She's miserable. So I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm by myself, and then she went to take a shower. Then she comes out, and she's like, when you coming to bed, what you doing? We did this thing like, what you doing? Right? Hey, what's going on? Why are you acting so stink? And I said, bitch, are you trying to get me to be phony with you? Huh? You think we're going to move on? Because you ready to fucking move on because you went from moment to moment, and now you're happy, bitch?
The shower brought her to her senses, is what happened.
Now,
the water hit her.
I didn't curse her out. I just had to talk Hannibal Lecter, treat the bitch like multiple MIGs, if you ever seen that show. That is talk this bitch till she die. And because most of the time, she's going to do something to mess up the good time. Not me. I don't go, why'd you say that? I don't want. She does it. So I tell her why, and then she goes, well, what's the point then? Implying, why are you even with me? I said, look, I didn't say that, but if you try to think for me, we'll be broke up. So you go ahead and think for me. You think, what are we doing this for? You think for me, go ahead. See if this relationship lasts. I think for this relationship.
What is this guy even talking about?
Emotionalize through it. If I emotionalize through the relationship, then where the fuck we gonna be? I'd rather you be crying because you get what you did that was dumb than I be miserable. Like guys do out there. Because they think that's what their existence has to be. And women will come at you with the gay thing. Look, my girl tries to say my friends are gay. Because when she tries to always introduce, I don't know what the bitch is doing, she always tries to, like, be the bitch that informs me of something. Like, she goes, did you hear it was an earthquake in China? And I go, yeah, but I don't want to talk to you about it. So my boy called, you called, somebody else called, and I'm like, he goes, yo, you hear about China? And I go, hold on, let me go make some tea so we can discuss China for hours and hours. Well, I fucking said China. I said, well, your China shit is boring. Talk to your friends about China, bitch, not me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Well, you're probably gay. Yeah, probably so, yeah. I just don't want to talk to you, bitch. But that's from here. Why the fuck are women always, instead of trying to understand that we're not crazy, we're just acting a certain way that you have to understand. Like, we have to understand that you have to have children, that you have children and the pain. I don't have kids. Why should I give a fuck about that? But I do, because it's visual. You have a period, that shit fucks you up, makes you hormonal, makes you emotional, and I have to understand that. There's things that go on with guys that women don't give a fuck because we don't bleed with our bullshit. Like, half the time, man cheats. You think motherfuckers want to cheat? I want to see my girl and go, you're the last bitch I'll ever kiss. Not even that. You're the last girl I ever want to
kiss, right.
But that's not the fucking case.
Right, exactly. Because it's biology.
They don't understand that, and they don't give a fuck about that. So I gotta make her understand shit. And she's like a fish. Tuesday, she loves me. Thursday, I'm the worst motherfucker ever. Saturday, she goes, oh my God, where would I be without you? Sunday, you back in the day, you used to fold the blankets. Like, why would I pay attention to her?
Yeah, that shit's dumb as fuck.
How you doing? Start hiding shit just so I could blame her for stealing it. You're lying. Do you mentir? Por que você mentirá? Huh? And then we just keep hearing. I'm like, this is the type of bitch I would be like, yeah, I do have a girlfriend. Are we done? We finished. Patrice O'Neal had this funny joke where he's like, this is the type of where I start hiding shit just so I can blame her for stealing it.
You put shit in her purse.
What the hell you doing? Like, yo, who you robbing?
What the hell you doing with a whole chandelier in your... That's my chandelier in your hole. That's funny shit.
So you go in and you're immediately off the first saying, I suspect you may not have integrity because of whatever's happened to me in my past or my hurt.
It's like, who hurt you?
And most people think of themselves as people with integrity. So when you keep questioning mine, and I haven't done anything, I get indignant about that because I'm like, yo, this person calling me a liar and I haven't done anything. And being falsely accused of something is one of the most infuriating things when you're innocent. What did I do to deserve this? Right?
That's one. And then I can't debate it.
No.
Because the more I try to debate it, it's like, why are you being so defensive?
Right. But here's the thing. It's also, ladies, it's a dumb question to ask. If I'm a liar, I'm going to keep lying. And if I don't have a girlfriend, all you're going to do is push me away. What is the point? It's like going to a scam artist and be like, are you scamming me? She's mad because she feels like she is a great catch and people are casting her away. She's being treated unfairly. What she doesn't realize is that she's treating others unfairly. She's like you want to be treated properly, but you don't know how to treat others properly with respect.
Hello, motherfucker.
Right? Where you claim they ghosted you, you demonized them.
Demonizing? Demonizing is a strong-ass word.
So is ghosting. You see the parallel I'm drawing?
I see what you did there.
Exactly. Right. Ghosts and demons. I was trying to, stay biblical with this shit. Why do you think it's a bad idea to come up to someone and ask them, do they have a girlfriend?
You know what? I think it's a legit question.
Okay.
What I see here is the fact that she repeats it and repeats it and repeats it.
Okay.
Let's say you ask me once, do you have a girlfriend? And I say no. If you analyze some things and you see that there's some flaws in my character that I'm lying, asking it over and over again, on my side, you just show me that you don't trust me. Right from the start. You just met me at this point.
Mm.
And our relationship is going to be based on the fact that you do not trust me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to drop that.
Mm.
On your side, if you just met that person, she said before, she gets attached really quickly. And that's probably the problem because she meets the person, she sees a future with that person.
Mm.
So she's going to ask, hey, do you have a girlfriend? The guy says no. Okay, he's a really good catch. I really want to have that dude. So that, pause. That person is a really good catch. I see my future with that person, blah, blah, blah. Then to reinsure yourself because you want to protect that future that you saw in your head, you're going to ask it again. That just makes you insecure. If you're like that, if we just met, I could just see how it's going to be detestable when we're going to be together.
Right.
You always going to ask questions like 4 or 5 times. Ain't no people want to be bothered with the same questions 4 or 5 times when I already asked you.
Mm.
So you get really attached really quickly, but she doesn't trust.
Yeah. You
got trust issues, boo-boo. Maybe when you was a kid, people gave you too much, chocolate chip cookies that ended up to be raisin cookies. You know what I mean? Trust issues.
I definitely agree. I've definitely had a raisin cookie before. And be
you
like,
thought it was...
But it's worse when you grow up poor. Because when you finally get access to a good snack and boo-boo, no, poverty strikes again.
In the back of the face. The back of the face and the back
Just
of the
feels
head.
like my mom came out and was like, who told you get to have fun? Come on, let me live.
Yeah, can I live? Can I have a little chocolate chip cookie?
100%.
No, raisins for you.
Think about what a raisin is. It's a grape minus the juice.
Oh, let me get some juice.
And then on the topic of like you going all in right away when you like somebody,
Chill.
it's like
pump your brakes.
Relax.
Drive slow.
People that you're discovering should be like good books, in that you're only getting to read a couple of chapters at the time. Like, you don't get to get the whole thing right away off the top.
And the resume is not going to give you the whole book. If you're too committed at the beginning of a relationship like that, you're going to sound crazy. It's impossible to be this committed when you just met someone.
You know, the clingy thing just seems like you're trying to use somebody else to fill whatever emotional void you got in your life. And so me seeing that dependency, I'm like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be something you're addicted to because it feels, because then I'm like, ugh, you got problems. And then I'm just here to shoulder them. The other thing to consider is like, you're erasing me. You're not seeing me for who I am. You haven't taken the time to discover me. You're just loving me for this idea that I get to fulfill for you.
Close to a fetish. Do you like me or you like
being with somebody?
Yeah, having a boyfriend. Is that what you...
That's different.
So
it's different.
That's a turnoff. I can see it.
It's too much too fast. Let me discover it slowly.
Which is the 9th movie of Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Too much too fast.
But it's like, you ever seen a trailer and it revealed the whole movie and you mad because now you don't even want to see the movie? It's the same thing. Slow down.
Pump your brakes.
Build a little tension.
Drive slow.
It's like... It's a good song, too. It's a great song.
Met a guy, we had a great date, and then a week later, I went to his house and made him breakfast. So I went upstairs to his bathroom, and I saw 2 different types of shampoo. One was for a woman, and one was for a man. And I got suspicious. I just said, "Are you sure you don't have a girlfriend?" He goes, "No, I already told you that." Then I look over at his calendar, and I see a girl's name on a Friday, and it is circled. And when I left, I said, "Are you sure you don't have a girlfriend?" And then that's when he ghosted me. I met a guy.
Boo-boo, if you toxic and I choose to get away from you, and that's not ghosting. That's me preserving myself. If I say to you, I'm going to go get a knife and stab you 10 times in 10 minutes, and I leave without an explanation, that's not ghosting. That's me preserving myself. I don't owe you an explanation if you are being a terrible person. You are not owed that. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Some people you also know are not interested in explanation. Some people, you'll tell them I'm not interested, and they want to drag the conversation out for hours. Oh, you stopped responding. I still had more to say. Boo-boo, I'm done. I'm not your therapist. Yeah. I'm not here to sort out through your insecurities. That is your problem. Some people use the word ghosting. I'm like, no, ghosting is, everything is looking fine. Everything is going good. We make a commitment for a specific date, and I stop responding.
Yeah, but that's to you.
What do you mean?
I mean, to the perspective of the person that is being ghosted, everything is going well.
Between you.
Yes. But on the other perspective, something came up. Or something is not going well. So, yeah, there's that.
But do you see the difference between we're good, but I'm going through something, and you've been doing something that's been hurting me?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you've been hurting somebody, maybe you don't know or whatever, and they leave, that's not ghosting. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I beat you every day, let's say I'm dating a girl and I'm beating her all the time, and she leaves, I'm like, she ghosted me.
No, she escaped.
Right? You see the difference?
Yeah.
But if we're good and you just disappear without explanation when I'm actually owed one, then that's ghosting.
That's what you're saying.
That's a little distinction I make. People always have these terms where they get to make themselves out to be the victim. Well, he ghosted me.
Every time someone tells a story, they're going to make it out to be the hero.
If they lack self-awareness. I've told stories where I fucked up on this podcast.
Of course.
Right? Like, so sometimes I recognize I'm in the wrong. I've had to go to people and apologize and like, what did you do? And I'm like, you may not realize it, but that was messed up with me and I want to apologize ahead because it's not right by my moral standards.
Yeah.
So there's times where I know I'm the villain.
Yeah, it takes a bunch of self-awareness.
Sure.
I mean, I have as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most people, when they're going to tell the story, they're going to make themselves out to be the hero.
Sure, I agree with that.
So, like, what happened is that I
most
went to
people,
McDonald's
everybody
and
did.
Then I didn't have the proper change, so she's like, "It's okay."
Even when somebody's self-deprecating, they're still trying to like
the nerve of this girl. No, you're the one that was involved.
paint themselves in a good light. They're trying to play to the audience.
You're obviously but they make themselves to be like. Can you believe the nerve of that person to be?
But you know what that is? That's two things. That's a lack of empathy and a lack of self-awareness.
Yep.
Empathy because you can't put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their reasoning.
And lack of self-awareness because you can't understand how f***ed up you are. You f***ed up.
Some people are like, I'm such a good girlfriend, I can't believe I'm single. I'm like, if you have to say, I can't believe it. If you have to state how much of a good cat you are,
then you're not so much of a good cat.
All right, let's just. We've only watched 52 seconds,
and we've been able to just dissect a lot of things. There's a lot. Anyways, whatever. Let's go.
I think Dr. Phil can help me figure out why I keep attracting men who are going to ghost me, who are lying, and who have girlfriends. Because I'm done with the guys who are ghosting, and I need a relationship.
Boom! We said it. Oh, girl, you need a relationship. Wow. That hits you really bad.
I don't think there's anything wrong with needing to be with somebody. I just think like the way she said it, it sounded so like.
All my friends are married, and I'm not. I'm left back.
Yeah, there's like a disgusting desperation to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean,
I saw it.
Like I love water. I need water, but I wouldn't be like, I need water.
Nah, you're thirsty.
Ew.
You see, I need water. Everybody needs water. That's one thing. I need some water. I'm thirsty now. She's thirsty. There's a difference.
There's a big difference. But anyways, is there anything else you want to add on this topic?
No.
I think we're good.
You don't want to watch the rest of the video?
No, I think we're good. I think if you guys want to watch it, you can go find it on Dr. Phil's channel. We just want to comment on that. So leave your comments below to let us know what you think.
You didn't say really shit about ghosting, buddy.
Peace.
Well,
stop
don't you
asking.
think that, I don't know.
Stop
maybe
asking if you have a boyfriend. Yeah, okay.
The fact that you're asking so many times if he has a girlfriend, don't you think that maybe, just maybe, that would have something to do with the fact that they're ghosting you? That could be ghosting you.
Hey love and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Shayla, and in today's video, you guys, I am going to be sharing with you
her hair.
10 clear signs on how to tell that
No.
What the fuck?
Was that dial-up? Was that dial-up? Was it disconnected?
Another way that you can tell that a girl likes you is if you find yourself more often than not having to be the one to end the conversation. So if you're the one that's like, I'll talk to you later, or I have to go.
Listen, I don't know if I was supposed to poo-poo this girl. She's nailed every single one.
I don't know none of that. I just want you to comment on it.
Think about it logically. If you always engage in conversations, all right? And the conversations, like, you know, see it how you want to see it. Essentially, it's a chance for you guys to get to know each other.
Yeah.
If you're always the one ending it and the other person did it, that means the other person wanted to keep going. But if you're like, I got better stuff to do, or I got to move on, you got shit to do, whatever, that indicates that you are the higher value person in this conversation.
Is that what you do?
Me, I end the conversation because I don't want to be in the conversation anymore.
Yeah, I feel that's how you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to convey status or interest, but you might have seen this in pickup artistry books where they say stuff like, always try to leave her on a high note, always try to leave when at the highest moment, so that's her last impression, or whatever it might be. By you leaving first, it is a bit of a power move. It's like,
isn't that?
I don't know. Some people are just more
So
assertive.
here's what you have to think about.
Like,
When
okay, we
you
said
are
what we
spending
need
time
to
with
say.
somebody, but you have to leave at a
And
high
other
point
people
in
are
the
just kind of
conversation
like
because
gonna
you have
ride
other
along
things to do.
until
It conveys to
the other
person
person
that they
says.
like you, but they have other priorities that are more important and that they're
All right,
focused
let me
and that
let
they're
you
driven.
go
So it
kinda
becomes an endearing quality. So it makes them appear high value, even if they're not playing game. Now, where it does kind of seem gamey is if you're intentionally leaving, even though you got nothing else to do, just to appear more higher status.
Which that makes it boy.
I don't think it makes it boy. I think we all do little stuff like that in order to convey attraction towards the other person.
Okay.
You know, it may not be how you actually are, but it is what you do at that time.
I see what you're saying.
I'm dirty all the time in my room or whatever. Moment I have a date, I clean everything up. Is that really an indication of who I am, or am I gaming? I'm putting my best foot forward.
Which is what dating is, I guess. It's two companies trying to make business with each other, so they send their best employee.
Sure. But then the most attractive prospect in a partner is when they're always like that. Their place is always clean. They're always well kept.
Yeah.
They're always on point. They're always busy with
Where
other
their
stuff.
normal matches who they sent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not so gamey. It's just, there's a difference between being gamey and showing your attributes.
I think even for the people who are on their best behavior all the time,
best behavior,
they're still going to show up on a date with better behavior. I'm still going to wear my best clothes. You know, that's still me putting my best foot forward. Is that gamey? I don't think so. It's putting your best foot forward.
What makes it gamey is if the further you look like your representation, the more gamey it is.
Listen, dating is a game. You play it. You play it to win. dating inherently is a game. It is a back and forth. Some people want to be wooed. They want to, charmed, all that stuff. You're putting on airs. I'm not saying it all has to be super phony, but let's not pretend like there isn't an element of romance or whatever. That's game. When someone's charming you and they're being funny and all that stuff, they may not have read it in a manual, but that's game.
That's still game. I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Charm is game. It's just another word for it.
Charm is game. So game is not necessarily bad, because that's how people link it to. Like you link being game when you hear someone say, "Oh, he's playing game," it's just like what they're saying is that the person is not being genuine, and the person is manipulating you into something that you're not.
Yeah.
But game is not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, if you are being deceitful to the point where you're completely misrepresenting who you are to the other person, then I could see that being a problem.
Okay. What do? How do you play the game?
You know what? I got to a good place. I think initially I was trying to do all these different things, but last over 6-7 years, I just...
Now you're having a flashback.
No, I'm pondering. Okay, here's the thing. I don't really care that much. There was a time in my life where I wanted the most beautiful poom poom. I wanted average. I wanted everything, right?
You must be the most beautiful poom poom in the world.
Yeah, and it's just like you have it. Some of it's overrated. Some of it's good. It's like, and you just realize on my stock market, it's not that high value anymore. It's not that important. I like flirting. Flirting is fun. It is a very fun process to be like, and
you like to hunt.
Yeah, I think it's normal. It's like women enjoy the process of being desired, and men enjoy the process of being able to woo.
The process
I think
of
those
being
two things
desired?
are very normal, and it's
Just
not
the
even in like
aspects of
a
it.
relationship. I want to date you kind of thing. Sometimes I just like flirting. Period.
Yeah.
To be charming is fun. To make people like you, it's not something I go out to actively do, but to be able to make people like you is a good feeling.
Do you think that because you do stand up, that's where your value in the stock market, the value will drop?
No.
Because you get it somewhere
Here's the
else.
thing. When I wasn't concerned with the outcome, the process became more fun. And because the process became more fun, the people I was involved with enjoyed it more. Does that make sense? When you are going into any kind of interaction with a lady and you're desperately wanting to garner something from that comes out in one way or another. As far as a neediness, either you become a simp or whatever it may be. It lowers your success rates, if you will. Okay? Same thing with stand-up. There's something weird about a stand-up comedian who goes up there and you can just tell they need the crowd's affection. The crowd turns and reels away from them. But when the comedian gets up on stage and they're confident in themselves, and even when the crowd's turning away, they assert themselves, they have more odds of winning the audience back than if they try to reach for the audience and, all right, I'm going to tell my best joke now. So
Please love me.
You know what I'm talking about? That moment when a comedian's like, please.
Yeah, please love me.
There's something really pathetic about it, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with dating.
Okay.
So I think for me, when I stopped caring about the process as much, for me, it became more enjoyable, and then I became less invested in the outcome, and now I'm just like, I tell you, so many times where I was like, I couldn't have got the goods, but I'd rather just say something that I really wanted to say, and it blew everything up, and I just had a good laugh about it, and that to me was way more reward. I've blown up so many opportunities.
That's a cop-out.
Just because you said what you wanted to say.
But I sleep well.
That's a bit shallow. It's a bit what you told me. When we started like back 4 years ago, and then there was comments, and then people, the hate was real.
Yeah, and
it was a hate we were not used to,
right?
Because there's a lot of people that you don't know that just give you so much hate,
right?
And there's a lot of people that give you a lot of love, but and we had this. I remember we had this conversation, and I was like, yo, these motherfuckers, they be hating, man. And you was like, yeah, but I don't care, because I sleep well at night.
Yeah.
Did we lie?
Yeah.
No. So I sleep well at night. They could be mad. Let them be mad.
and they got mad. They
canceled us in some spots.
They canceled us in some spots.
But bro, to this day, I sleep so well.
To this day,
yo.
To this
when I
day.
tell you my sleep is amazing, and I think, you know, I always tell people I know what it's like to have regrets. I know what it's like to not stand up for whatever you believe in or to all this other stuff. So to not have to have that negative feeling weighing on me, you know that to me is it's like it's not, you don't feel great. It's like an absence of a negative.
You sleep well.
I sleep well.
For someone that reads a comment,
bro, 8 to 10 hours every day. Really? 8 to 10 hours, bro. I wake up feeling great.
I bet to make sleeping better.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got that quarantine sleep.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Congratulations.
That quarantine sleep, like, oh.
Yeah, man, no, sleeping well is good.
What?
And I
There's
think
nothing to do. I'm going to sleep at 11, wake up at 6. What the hell is this?
I feel, you know what, though? It's like for some dudes, getting laid is such a big thing for them.
But it is.
And especially if you haven't been laid a lot or haven't had any opportunities and you really want it, it's hard for me to tell you, don't chase that. Because when you don't know that you don't know.
But that's a hug around a. I mean, that's a lot of love right there that you didn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of men are compensating for a lot of that they didn't have.
That's my story.
That was your story?
Yeah. Ugly duckling, didn't get some in high school, wasn't liked. And so I felt like I was owed some pum pum. Real talk.
All right, real talk.
Real talk. Real talk. I never acted badly towards women. I never treated them badly. But I'm like, and I never been like, where's my pool? I never did that. But I felt like, yo, I'm owed some, and I'm going to get some. I'm going to earn it, though. Because for me to take it wouldn't be gratifying.
No.
To me, the only way it makes gratifying is if you find me endearing. So to be able to game my way in feels great. And also to game my way in with ethics, so I could sleep well at night. I could not sleep well knowing that I misled people or I lied to them about a whole, doing stuff where I'm like, I got all these cars, and when I never, that wasn't me. But if I could get them being dusty, that felt great. Yo,
and then
I'm dusty and I'm still getting it in.
That's what you're saying.
You know what I mean? I remember being in the military and being like clean cut and all well dressed and getting something that was cool. But when I was dusty and I was still getting something, that's game. That's like playing basketball 5-on-5 with other pros, but you got weights on your ankles. That's what feeling dusty is.
It's like that. Was it Goku? He takes off all his gear.
Shit. That's what happened to me. When I started putting efforts to dress in the last 2-3 years, and then I cut my hair and did all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yo, we out here swimming, okay? Like Justin Trudeau, moistly. What I was trying to say earlier is I get it. For some dudes, it's such a big deal to get laid, and it's like they feel incomplete and inadequate without it. So it's hard for me as someone who has been able to get laid to tell them you don't need that.
I feel like everything out there says you need to.
Sure.
All the information that we're getting, men need to get pum pum. If you're not getting that pum pum, you're not successful here.
Sure.
So I get it.
Everyone says that. Women say that. Men say that. So it's normal that men think that they have to do that. Normal. And so I get it. But I also tell men, once you get it, you're like, ugh. Ugh.
What's so ugh about pum pum?
It's not ugh about pum pum. It's that constant pursuit.
How much you gotta chase for the end result is just not necessarily worth it sometimes.
Worth it. And even when you're in the process, it's just not a fun. It's like you get these little ego boosts, but you don't feel great after. Yeah. I don't know. So I could go on about that, but I won't.
This is 2019, you guys, and I feel like more often than not, 24/7 we have our phones on us, and if not 24/7, 24/8, because our phones are going to be somewhere around us. Okay, let's just keep it true. So a lot of the times we don't really realize how to tell that a girl likes you through text, and I'm going to go ahead and get started and jump into number one. So the first sign in how to tell that a girl likes you, and this might be a little bit obvious and it's like duh, but I have to mention it, and it's going to be that she initiates to text you first. So you're not always the one that is reaching out to her to text her first, that she's actually reaching out to you. And that's a very, very good sign that she likes you, or in the very least is interested in you, because it shows that you are on her mind.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
No.
Going to be that when you text her, she replies immediately, quicker than the Bifrost, right?
She's not wrong.
But maybe the person is just likes to reply.
No, generally when people like you, they reply a lot faster.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking you.
No, she's not wrong.
Okay.
So that means, you know, she is waiting for your text. She is crying in her bed, and she is waiting for her boo to text her. And I'm just kidding.
She's making corny jokes. It's okay.
Anticipating. There you go. Anticipating to talk to you, so her replies are quick. Number 3 is going to be that she puts LOL or haha after texts that don't really require a LOL or a haha.
I feel like that's everybody. Because we don't have intonation in text. You know, we don't have.
She's not wrong though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but
when someone's not interested in you, they'll make the text a little bit more dry as an indication. Whereas by adding that extra, I'm not saying it's an indication that the person does like you, but it can be added.
But it's so vague. It's vague. It's like, yeah, she's not wrong. She's not right either.
No, here's what she is, because she's giving you 10 things to look for. And if it's added to the other list of stuff, then she's right.
What's the other list of stuff?
If she answers immediately and she adds a LOL at the end.
Okay, if she has all
it's the amalgamation of other stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The next one is going to be that she puts emojis and GIFs in her text. When you send emojis and when you send GIFs, and the reason why I said emojis like that is because I feel like they are trying to get your emotions across to the other person.
She said GIF.
Yeah, I don't know if it's GIFs or GIFs either.
It's GIF.
Is it GIF? I've always said GIFs. But it sounds like GIFs. Like a gift. So it's kind of confusing.
But it's GIF.
It's an acronym.
It's a question of, you know, context.
Okay.
Yo, I sent you a GIF. Did you get it? If it was through text, then it's a GIF. Like, it's a GIF. If it was...
Again, she's not wrong.
Then there's motherfuckers that like me a lot.
When someone is not into you, they're not going to be that animated in text.
I'm not animated in text. It's not because I don't like the person. It's just because I don't like emojis. And I'm not laughing at the moment, so I'm not gonna la.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying from women, when they send a lot of gifts or when they send a lot of stuff, like if they're romantically interested, there's far more likelihood that they're going to send that stuff than they won't. You dig what I'm saying?
That's what you're saying.
The next sign is going to be that when you don't respond right away to her text, that she keeps on texting you. And I feel like girls do this because they're anticipating your response, and so it's like, oh my gosh, no, Biter, he's not texting me right now. Let me just keep texting him until he texts me back. So yeah.
She's nailed pretty much all of them.
Well, that's how it works.
Yeah, if I don't respond, someone keeps responding, that's an indication to me that they're very interested. Well, of course.
Nigga, I don't have to know.
Me, if I text somebody and I don't get a response, I'm like, dude, dead to me.
I think that's how I would go about things.
A lot of people aren't like that. If people triple or quadruple text you, odds are they're really interested. Is that crazy for you to think that?
All my business meetings is just motherfuckers wanting to.
The nigga, you know. That's a different thing. They really do like you for your money.
So another sign that you can tell that a girl definitely likes you through text is her texts are not those one-worded, dry, toast, desert kind of texts. They are going to be actual sentences. They're going to be engaging. Next sign. So say, for example, if you had mentioned in a previous texting conversation that you wanted to go to Six Flags together, and say she finds herself at Six Flags but you weren't able to make it, she'll send you a picture. She'll send you a picture of herself at Six Flags, right? Or she'll send a picture of the surroundings.
Wait, motherfuckers do that?
If they're updating you on their trips and their stuff that they're doing in private chats, odds are they're probably interested.
No, but motherfuckers actually send you pictures
of them doing stuff?
I mean, we see it. It's on your social media.
No, they send people pictures. I've definitely had a girl send me like, oh, look, I'm on vacation in Cuba. And they send it to me privately. You know, and I'm just like...
Do you care?
No. Don't give up. I don't even reply.
You don't?
Oh, I wish I could be there. Like, what am I going to say? I'm like, congrats, enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm on vacation, I don't think about sending people other pictures, but I know people are different from me. People like to let other people in on their vacations and their experiences. I don't give a
I would be super surprised if you'd be like, oh, girl, wish you could. I don't.
I can't. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. There's a lot of stuff I don't care about. I don't think we need to watch more of this video because I pretty much got the point. I encourage her. Big ups to her output goes well for her. To me, this is like, duh, I already know all this stuff, but I know there's people who don't know. Pretty much her thing can be summed up. Do they make a lot of effort in communication? When someone's not interested in you, they're going to keep the conversation as short as possible. When someone is interested in you, they'll send you pictures. They might send you emojis a lot. They might put low at the end. They might do an amalgamation of all these different things.
Yeah.
Essentially, this can be summed up to, if someone's interested, they're going to put in effort. That's what this is.
Where's behavior?
That's it.
Vroom, vroom. Started off.
We have this goober-ass named Gayle King. So if you aren't aware, Gayle King was on CBS doing an interview about Kobe Bryant. A clip was posted online. Basically, Gayle went about, asking Leslie what she thought about them. Leslie countered by saying, listen, that's not how I know him. I know him to be a very good, innocent person. And then Gayle kept pressing her. And when people saw the clip, it went viral. Everyone got mad. All right. I watched the clip. I understand why people got mad. It's no surprise to me. And I mean, people are mad.
Mad. Big mad. At the dancery. Her pressing, that's what really showed me that she had an agenda. Because if I already tell you, you ask me a question, I already tell you, no, it's not like that. Right. Yeah, but really, what do you think about that? No, it's really not like that. Yeah, but come on. No, it's not like that. Yeah, but you wouldn't know. You don't care about it. At this point, when someone is acting like that, it doesn't matter what I'm gonna answer.
All right.
You're still on your track, your trajectory. You're not trying to find the truth. You're trying to fit your narrative, and that's what really bothered me.
So Gayle came out after all the backlash, and she said, "Yo, I did the full length. It wasn't as bad. If you guys had seen it, you would understand. I showed it to Leslie. She was fine with it. Like they put out that short clip unbeknownst to me. Now I watched both." The short and the long one. The short one is extremely insulting. The long one is still insulting. She didn't give the full context. So even in the entirety of the clip, when you watch the full interview, she still doesn't give the full context of the court case. If you want to bring up fine, bring up the whole context. Don't cherry pick what you want to paint the image that you want. Because if you do, don't be mad if other people who know the most of the context get mad at you. Don't be surprised. You omitted details. You are lying. So don't be mad when someone gets mad about your lies. Gayle has been saying really weird stuff.
The reason why this troubles me so much is that if men are doing the right thing and they're behaving appropriately, they don't have to worry about any of this. They don't have to worry about being accused.
How a black woman could say this is unbelievable to me. Don't you know her history?
Botham Jean, chilling in his apartment. Did he do something? Emmett Till, did he do something? Tatiana Jefferson, did she do something? The Central Park 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5! Did they do something? Man, get this chucking and jiving ass out of here.
And so Gayle came afterwards and said, no, CBS is the one who put out the short one. But I'm like, listen, bro.
Of course.
You work for them. And there's no doubt that they put... Why did you think they put you forth to do the interview in the first place?
Because you're disposable.
No, because she's a black woman. Who do they always get whenever it comes to black entertainment or athletes? Who do they get to do most of those interviews?
Black woman. You know what it is? It's my quota theory. When an owner, being in the business, when an owner in a club doesn't like black people and has a quota on black people, and trust me, it does happen, what they do is that they don't put the white bouncer in front, because now the whole thing is shifty. They put the black bouncer in front to tell the people, yeah, no, we don't accept them. So you cannot accuse them, you cannot accuse the network of racism. If they would have put a black host there doing that, automatically it would have been like, and this and that. But they put black women just so that you can't call it an ism. Do I think CBS used her? 100%. But here's my thing is like, you benefited from them using you. You made millions of dollars. You played into the fact that they were going to use your blackness as a means to be able to take down the legacy of black people. You can't let them use you if you don't buy into some degree. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. Even if I recognize that they were trash for putting out that short clip. And it's no surprise that they did, because they just want clicks. But you benefited.
Every media company right now is thirsting for clicks. So when they put out that short clip without context, I'm like, how does a journalistic company do something like that. But they're well aware of what they're doing. They want to create controversy because at the end of the day, it creates traffic. So if you guys really want to hurt them, boycott CBS.
That's pretty much it.
That's the only way these people are going to learn is when their money's affected. I'm done moaning. I'm done accusing people. All I'm going to say is I'm done with y'all because that's how y'all move and you're not going to get me. So that's what I tell you.
Don't repost the clips. Don't, because that's what they want. They actually want. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you repost a clip and you trash it or you repost a clip and you praise it. It does not matter. At the end of the day, you reposted that and you created a click.
Oprah came to Gail's defense because they're best friends and you already know what they say. What I mean? If you're going to shuck and jive, might as well do it as a duo. And
are to us. And I think the last 24 hours for your best friend have been pretty difficult after that interview with Lisa Leslie about Kobe. And I just wondered just how she's doing.
She is not doing well. May I say she is not? She is not doing well and has to now travel with security. And she's feeling very much attacked.
How do you think Kobe Bryant's family feels?
I was about to say the exact same thing.
You see how Oprah was mad about the fact that people were attacking her, Gayle King, for valid reasons? Imagine how mad people get when you attack someone they love for invalid reasons. If you want sympathy, learn to sympathize. If you want to be treated like a human being, learn to treat others like a human being. The man is dead. I don't know about your community, but where I'm from, that means something. You let the dead rest. You don't unearth it so you can spit on it. And this man hasn't even been buried yet, and y'all already throwing dirt on his name. You guys want to put dirt on a man who hasn't even been buried in dirt. Think about that. So how do you want me to sympathize?
Very much attacked. You know, Cosby is texting from, is tweeting from jail.
Hey, my man Cosby trying to get a lick in too. He'd be like, hey, get some of this chocolate pudding.
You did, zippity bobbity boo. You did me wrong too.
You could just know. Oprah's like,
zippity bobbity boo. You did me wrong too.
Oh, not the doll. Oh, not the doll. You know what I like? This doll's inanimate, much like Bill Cosby's favorite people.
Oh.
I don't know why people are surprised by Gayle King or Oprah throwing black men under the bus. It's what they do. It's what they've been doing. Oprah's been doing this since like the 80s and the 90s. What she's done to hip hop artists regularly, you saw what she did to MJ, right? You saw what she's trying to do to Russell Simmons. You saw what she got on with Bill Cosby. Like, she has no problem. But then you ask these same ladies who take pictures with Weinstein and all this stuff, and they're very quiet. When Oprah on her own show had that guy from Brazil who's now being accused by 1,000 women for what he's done, and she's never come out against that. I'm just like, how come y'all so comfortable saying this stuff about black dudes, but when it comes to your people from other communities, you guys are quiet? It is what they do. And what you have to understand is not because black people make it to a point of privilege and power that they are necessarily going to look out for black communities. Nope. They don't, because sometimes when people get to a certain financial level, they identify more with their financial status than they do the communities from which they came from. It's not surprising to me. So me, I see Oprah more as a rich woman than I do see her as a black woman, if at all.
Nigga, she's black?
This is what I think about Oprah.
This is a no-brainer. Bye. Boy, bye.
It's really, you know what? The thing is, it's really unfortunate because, like, it's crazy. When I was growing up, one of my aunt was a godmother. She was always watching Oprah. And she was like, yo, this Oprah is interesting topics and stuff like that. Like, she was
when you're desperate
an icon. But the thing that happened is not just stop. And it's probably going to sound like I'm repeating myself. But yeah, stop putting people on pedestals. But people are not all good or necessarily all bad. Yes, I said that. And that's the thing. So when we have someone that is on a pedestal like that, there's some flaws to that. And some other flaws can be a detriment to your culture and to your people. And that's what it is right now.
Yeah. Well, what do you say to people who say we're putting Kobe on a pedestal?
What's coming to you?
We're not. We're not, because we're trying. The thing that happened with Kobe, okay? we're not saying that he's an angel. Or, now he is, but we're not saying that. We're not saying that he was. We're not saying that he was all good or all bad.
I know Zachary
It's
is not your
nuanced.
mother.
Everybody.
Perhaps
It's not
the
putting.
fated list
It's
helped
not
him
that you cannot
succeed.
bash.
Come to think.
Is it though? Is it nuanced? Because here's my thing, right?
Right.
It wasn't until rather recently.
I always say believe the facts and evidence.
Yes. To retrieve the list from
These women are coming from the perspective that believe women. But just today, we have another story about Amber Heard, and we have recordings of her saying, who's going to believe that a man was victimized?
Absolutely.
So my thing is like, the evidence doesn't corroborate the woman's story against Kobe.
No.
Society refuses to believe, man. Why am I going to give her the credence if she has no evidence? Because we already know for a fact that women do lie. A lot. I don't know why everyone's coming out like we're pretending like women are some kind of perfect gender. No, y'all lie too. So I'm throwing these accusations.
Excuse me, we don't lie. Nobody would, in a situation like this, lie about
for millions of dollars.
Yes.
Nobody would. Nobody would.
No.
For millions of dollars.
No.
Nobody.
Are you?
No.
If you find $1 million in the bag, you wouldn't lie?
No, bro.
You had to. You had to.
All right. So, I'll be honest with y'all.
You know what that is?
Crimea River.
Oh shit!
You think I don't know this song?
Nah.
Yo, anything Timbaland produced, I know. So, carrying on. Some people know him for Justin Timberlake. I know that song because of Timbaland. He made that song.
Timbaland. It was Timbaland.
There is no Justin Timberlake without Timbaland or the Neptunes. But anyways.
And it was not no, it was the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then the voices.
Why do you think all those albums were hot garbaggio after they left him? Okay, we all know. To the 2020 experience? Nigga, are you blind? What are you talking about? Because that was garbage. Okay,
can't you see?
What you do to me? Turn it off.
Have you been struggling to lose weight? Has your plumber butt been making unwanted public appearances? Did your wife Tina leave you for a chiseled personal trainer named Dexter Jackson?
Tell her I miss her.
Then say hello to the newest craze in weight loss miracles, introducing Hungry Niggas. The science is proven. If Hungry Niggas come to your home and eat your food, you can't get fat off of it.
Hey, where's all my food? Not around your waistline, you pear-shaped motherfucker. Looking like a Sonic villain, Dr. Robotnik looking ass.
We have Hungry Niggas ready to eat your food right now. No dry prepackaged meals, no yucky shakes, no pills, no nonsense. Just the raw, uninhibited power of Hungry Niggas.
Stay hungry.
Thanks to Hungry.
Oh, watch out, girl.
Thanks to this program.
That's better.
I've lost close to 40 pounds. Finally, I'm fit enough that my family won't be ashamed of me. Unfortunately, my loved ones have disowned me because they are constantly seeing hungry black men leaving my house. They think I'm a night rider. And they're right.
We have all kinds of Hungry Niggas for you to choose from. Average niggas. Weird niggas. Eat everything and still stay fit niggas. Cookout niggas. Suburban niggas. Robot niggas. Died for your sins niggas. Sand niggas. Other sand niggas. School shooter niggas.
You guys sure do say the N-word a lot.
Gender neutral niggas. Light skin niggas. Sensitive niggas. Fuckboy niggas. Woke niggas.
Wakanda forever. But I didn't watch the movie because the white man profited. See, y'all ain't woke enough. Open your eyes.
Kevin Hart. Call now and we won't only send you Hungry Nigga, but you'll get an additional Starving Nigga for free. Call 1-800-HUNGRY-NIG today for your life-changing experience. Continual use of Hungry Niggas may have side effects. Side effects include but are not limited to lowered property value, increased police presence, and your daughter wanting to wear dashikis for no apparent reason. Hungry Niggas, brought to you by the food deserts created by your local governments.
Today's topic, journalism. So I think there's a video that I think everybody needs to see.
I'm
I'm looking at the journalist Felicia, and she is somebody who has gone through sexual assault herself. And she said that in the Washington Post. She released an article a couple of years ago detailing her experience. So as a journalist, which is not what we do, we are a talk show with opinion.
But you were a
and I was a journalist for 10 years prior to taking this job. So as a journalist, it's our job to objectively report the news. I know that would be tough if you're someone who survived sexual assault. But when I'm looking at this story, she didn't give the story any context. And she got upset that she was being attacked on Twitter for tweeting a link that basically was condemning Kobe's character and accusing him of rape. But I think her job as a journalist was to put that in context. You have the responsibility, and you need to have the journalistic acumen to write the full story. Go to the Washington Post and say, this man is a nuanced character. This man has a detailed, layered history that we need to discuss. But don't just tweet that out and be the political reporter for the Washington Post and tweet that and leave it there, because you're leaving yourself open to the attacks that you're now receiving. And so whether or not she should be fired, you know, I think that she should be put on leave like she was. I think it's inappropriate because we're in a time where we don't know what journalism is anymore. We have our president that attacks journalists. We have TMZ that broke the news to Vanessa Bryant that her husband passed away. You know, what are we doing now that we need to look at ourselves, people who call themselves journalists? We have journalists attacking a 7-year-old child, which is Blue Ivy, and we look at them calling out her characteristics. We need to do better altogether as journalists. And I look at this woman and I say it was your responsibility just to do better and give it more time than 2 hours after the man passes away to say what you think about him if it's negative. And, you know, don't hide behind somebody else's article. I stand behind a journalist named Jillian Sheldon. She sat at that Kobe trial for 6 weeks. She followed it in Colorado, in and out, stayed there, interviewed all the lawyers, interviewed the woman who was accusing him. And she said, how can we use someone's worst day on this earth as a referendum on their character in totality? And we can't, because just like Kobe, we all have flaws and we're all layered individuals. And we've seen this story time and time again, too many times when it's a black man and a white woman that's an accuser, when that's the story and it goes down and he just goes and gets convicted by the public jury. And we've seen the story too many times where women who have been sexually assaulted cannot give their voice to the public and are not given the space they need to share their story. So this is a complicated thing to talk about, but I really think that as a journalist, if you're going to take that name and that stance and that dignity of a position, you should probably do it properly and just try to tell the complicated story with as much care as possible. And that goes for everybody involved in this Kobe situation.
Wow. Who is she? What's her name? Her name is Lindsey Granger.
Yo, Lindsey. Girl, you murk that with the precision. Ooh, you said everything that had to be said about that. Oh, girl, you was right. Ooh. If I was the one that fucked up and that was my wife talking to me like that, I'd be like, ooh, girl, you're right. Let's have sex. Woo, woo. Wow, that's some powerful, sexy shit. Every point I was made. It's like there's nothing else to say. She said everything that had to be said.
There's times when people nail it so hard.
You ain't got to say.
Normally we always interject at every point, but I watched that video from start to finish, and I'm like, it echoes the whole sentiment that I have about journalism today. This may be, I'm both sad and grateful. I'm grateful she said what she said, and I'm sad that she's no longer in journalism and she's just a reporter. Great journalism often goes unrewarded. I remember when the story broke about Epstein. People don't realize just how much journalistic work went into it, the months and the years of research that they went into uncover. And now the only reason you know about Epstein is because of the few journalists who worked on that case incessantly. You don't even know their names. But they did so much behind the scenes work, and I took the time to appreciate it because I know how much behind the scenes stuff has to happen for a story like that to break on someone that powerful. And so when I see people with journalistic integrity, I just want to say, believe me when I say your work does not go unnoticed. You guys are shaping national dialogue in a way that's super important. And to the people who are not doing a good job, let me also say that we see you. But this and what she's talking about, that work.
We're talking about holding people accountable.
Because you encourage people to reflect. You encourage people to see that the world is not black and white. That when I go to read an article, it's not just going to be some partisan hack stuff based off whatever political views the owner of that publication has. I know it's going to give me a piece that's going to make me reflect and help me to see the humanity in people I disagree with or agree with. And that's what we need. We need people to tell stories in a way that make us see the duality of most human beings. Like she said, Kobe Bryant was a nuanced person. And what most people are so offended by is the black and whiteness. Like, I could recognize that that's a stain on his integrity, but it's not the entirety of his being. And what did we say in that video? Present the story as a whole.
The context, the whole context.
And when you don't, you are misleading people, you are misleading conversations, and we don't forget the fact that you lied to us.
There's some things that, you know, are unacceptable in your job, that sometimes just some errors that you're going to do that's going to cost you your job. If you're a surgeon and you forget like scissors in someone's abdomen and you might lose your job. That is something that's normal, you understand? Sure, so, yeah.
And so we want to build our faith in the media corporations. We just need y'all to do better. So I was just so happy when I saw this, and I think it deserves to be shared. So, you know, go hit up, you know, Lindsey Granger on her social medias, show her some love, and that's pretty much all. Yeah, it made me happy.
Lindsey. Ooh.
I wasn't initially going to cover this topic. What I do think is interesting here, what I do want to talk about, it's people who preach something and then
backtrack, backpedal, flippy floppy.
Pretty much.
Switch position.
We should ask you about the Gabrielle Union controversy. Of course, there are reports that her contract wasn't renewed because she reported a toxic atmosphere existed at the show. You're at the show. Is there a toxic atmosphere?
First of all, I can't speak for sexism because I'm not a woman.
You know what? Let's just let him talk.
If you don't say anything, you are, by your silence, it's acceptance. And I'm not going to be silent. I'm not going to be silent, but they need a man like me to say something. I've always said that men need to hold other men accountable. That is the only way the system is going to change.
Abba with the receipts. Abba with the receipts.
I'd like to make a return, please.
Oh, damn.
Do you have your receipt?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Bitch, you guessed it. You was right.
Oh, snap. The receipts.
For behavior, if another man can come up to a man and say, we don't do that, we're not allowing that here, all of a sudden the culture will begin to change. And if I have to be the first one that's going to do it, then let it be. I will be that one.
What happened, Terry?
You got a job or something? I'm gonna get some juice this time. I got the apple cider vinegar.
My thing is, you know, it's funny because I believe you should listen to women. You should always believe women. So I asked my wife what I should do.
That's a confusing response. Your wife is not every woman.
But Whitney Houston is.
You like that setup?
Oh,
you like that setup? I knew you would catch that one.
But your wife is not the one talking, though. Believe our woman. Stephanie, what happened to that girl?
If it's coming from an unnamed source, because Gabrielle Union has not made any statement to this day about any of these allegations publicly.
That's interesting to me. So Terry Crews can't understand why someone wouldn't want to go public with what they're saying. Terry Crews, if you remember, had an incident a while back when he was at a festival and someone grabbed his car, right? And he made a big stink about it years later. Here's what he said. One thing that people don't understand about this movement is that people think that people come forward to get money. People come forward to get fame. The deal is you only get paid for your silence. When something happened to me, I did come forward right away. I went right to the agency where this man worked and told everybody. But I didn't go public right away. I gave them time to rectify the situation. I wanted them to get rid of this man. Isn't that literally what Gabrielle Union is doing right now? Bro, not only do I want a full refund, I want your manager to call their manager, and I want them to call me tomorrow. I want a gift card.
Oh, you went full Karen on them.
That's right.
Never go full Karen.
Yo, listen, let's keep watching because Terry's not done putting his foot in his mouth.
And that's a big foot.
Just
$5 foot long.
Had to support these women who were being told that they were opportunists, that they were liars, that they just were looking for a payday. One thing that I faced when I came forward with my story was ostracism, shame by people who look just like me. My wife said, well, if she hasn't made a statement, why would you?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm gonna listen to her.
Terry, Dominique R wants to know whose support surprised you the most when you spoke out about the
felt that you experienced?
You know, to be honest with you, the people who surprised me the most were black women.
Really?
All my support came from black women, straight up.
That's so
and that's kind of wild. It was it shocked me. It shocked my.
No, you're not drinking apple cider vinegar, are you?
Yeah.
That's nasty, nigga. Bro, your breath right now, I'm getting 2nd-degree apple cider vinegar.
If I get in the bitterness, everybody gets it.
Black men did not want any part of it.
And ladies, now you know why we didn't support him. I never liked Terry Crews.
Never?
Never. I mean, as an actor, I was indifferent. But once he became a social activist, I was not on board with him. You know, there's something about the male feminist types that are always shucking and jiving when it's in front of the cameras. As soon as things get tough, they either turn out to be the Weinsteins or they turn out to be flip-floppers. And I'm like, bro, you're not a sandal. Don't flip-flop, okay? Wet noodles out here. I'm not with that stuff.
Wet noodle.
This is something I've grown to really hate over time. I don't care if you don't have strong opinions about stuff. I don't care if you're not loud about your views. That's okay. If you're that way, that's fine. What I cannot stand are people who preach a religion but don't believe in the faith.
Bro.
You're asking me to take a leap, but you're not willing to take it yourself. The moment that your money's threatened, you flip-flop like this, I got a huge problem with that. What did I say? I'm like, listen, bruv, if you claim you got values, but the moment things get tough, the moment money's on the line, you drop those values, you don't have values. No. You got ideas. You got ideas you love to talk about, but you don't believe it. He said, and after everyone came at him, this is what he said, there is only one woman on this earth I have to please. Her name is Rebecca. Not my mother, not my sister, my daughters, or co-workers. I will let their husbands and boyfriends and partners take care of them. Rebecca gives me wings. Is your wife Red Bull? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Listen, you're saying that the only time women need defending is if they got a partner. So what about all the single women out there? Fuck them. What are you talking about? What about all the women who are in relationships with people who are... Go turn to your... What are you saying, bro?
It makes no sense.
The problem here is not, you know, cis men or masculinity. This is just a matter of people with low character preaching like they got high character. Yeah. It's funny because, you know, Terry played a supporting role in the show. He was the father in Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
But now he's the lead actor in Everybody Hates Terry.
Wow.
Isn't he though? It's like its own little sitcom. Wow. People love to hate this man.
Oh, wow.
But let's let him keep talking.
I can't speak on behalf of any comments. That was never my experience on America's Got Talent. In fact, it was the most diverse place I have ever been in my 20 years of entertainment. The top 10 acts were Asian, women, older, younger, black, white. It was everything in the gamut.
Diversity is about understanding different people's perspectives and taking that into consideration in the decision making. You don't have to be black to make a decision that benefits black people. If you understand them and understand their cultural sensibilities, then you can help people integrate into the workforce. So for me, I don't care if 70 of the executives are black or white. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of times where you have black owners and black people in charge and they don't do a good job of encouraging an inclusive workspace. Oh, bro. For example, if we were integrating women into the workforce and we're like, ladies, come work with us, but we had no women's restroom, and we're like, we're not interested in that, then you see how you create limitations. Diversity is not about who you sprinkle into your mosaic. It's about where they come from and understanding that.
But you do have to, at some point, cater to the people that you take decisions for them. I mean, example, if you decide to hire handicapped people, what happened to Terry? Terry didn't come to work. There's no ramp for Terry to come to work. Terry can't come to work because it's not a mother ramp. So, yes, you hired Terry, right, but Terry cannot even get there.
And look, I'm not even saying that you have to have a diverse workspace, but this is what NBC preaches. This is what NBC loves to put out there. So I'm like, if you're gonna put it out there, then be about what you want to work, right? This is what I'm talking about. Again, these are not my values. These are the values they claim to espouse. So I'm like, cool, then live by those values. That's all I ask of people. Is like, don't be preachy, don't create a media conglomerate who loves to preach to the people, and then you don't live by the values you claim. People want to talk about the Gabrielle Union she deserved to be let go. There's not enough information for me to say 100%, because it's just, but based on what I read, some of the comments she received was like her hair was too black, which if it's true, I don't know what that means or what they're trying to say.
Your hair is too black.
Yes. There was a couple of other insensitive moments, like apparently one of the performers was doing like celebrity impressions, and then at one point he changed his outfit and he came out like Beyonce, but he pulled a Justin Trudeau on his hands and made them extra dark. And she's like, yo, y'all gotta cut this man now. And they're like, we'll see about that later. So she got mad about that. Apparently she's allergic to smoke, and Simon Cowell smokes all the time
on the show.
On the show, she's allergic. And look, that one, he runs the show. NBC can't do anything about him. But people want to get mad at her, be like, yeah, you can't say that to the guy who runs the show. But NBC's already tried to make him stop. So her reiterating that, I don't know how that makes her difficult. Do you know what I'm saying? And then she got mad at Jay Leno because he made a joke about how Simon had an image with dogs, and it looked like an image that someone from Korea would have, because you know they eat dogs or whatever. Hey, look, that's a joke. I don't co-sign you reporting him for a joke like that, because 1, it's factual, 2, it's a joke, and 3, he's a comedian. Calm down. So look, whether or not she deserved to get fired, that's ambiguous. There's arguments for, arguments against, but Terry is garbage. And I don't like Terry because this is not the first time he's done some whack shit like this, right? When that dude touched his cojones, right? He's like, I couldn't do anything. I was so hurt, and everyone jumped. And black men were like, yo, why don't you just put his lights out, right? Like, why don't you just stand your ground when someone put their hands on you? And you know what he did? He responded to DL Hughley by saying, what if I saw you next time and I slap you in the face? So I'm like, wait, you're going to slap DL Hughley for saying you should defend yourself, but you're not going to slap the man who touched you? Okay, whatever. And then Terry later on came out to say boys, young children need a father figure in their life. And I was like, yeah, Terry, I agree with you. Then feminists came at him and he's like, I apologize. I shouldn't have offended.
The wording, you see, the way the wording works, the wording was not.
Yo, get this guy off my screen.
Today's topic, Robert Downey Jr. So if you aren't aware, Robert Downey Jr. was on the Joe Rogan podcast last week and talked about his role in Tropic Thunder, in which he played an Australian actor in blackface. And in doing so, talking about it casually, the clip went viral. A whole bunch of news media outlets picked it up, and they started dragging Robert Downey Jr. for acting in blackface.
You mentioned Robert Downey Jr. You know, I've talked to a bunch of people about the Robert Downey Jr. role in Tropic Thunder. You know, Robert Downey Jr. did blackface, and no one was really upset.
I was upset.
He kind of did it pretty. Oh, you were upset?
I was clearly upset. Yeah.
More of this.
That's why I brought that up.
Okay, why is that?
It's just not fair, man. I think, you know, they like to pull the wool over our eyes sometimes and make us think that something is cool because a certain person is doing it. But blackface is blackface. It was used as a tool to oppress black people because they didn't want to see our faces on stage. And it should never be duplicated or replicated.
I don't know if this guy watched the movie. Blackface is the erasure of black people using a white character to substitute for a black character. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't playing a black character. He was playing a white actor. One of the co-stars is a black person who constantly calls him out on his attempt at trying to be black. So you have both sides of it. And my thing is, this is clearly entertainment. This is clearly meant to talk about a specific topic. And my question is, if I want to bring up blackface, if I want to represent the history of America that involves blackface, how do I represent blackface on stage without getting a white character to be in blackface? But if I was to get a black character in blackface, it would defeat the purpose because it's not blackface. It would be like saying because the fact that slavery happened, that
you can't show black people in chains.
Listen, I think you guys have taken this way further than it needs to go. It's not that deep. It's really not. You guys have to separate. Not every time that you get pulled over by a cop that it is because of. Sometimes you were going
too fast.
Okay? An actor is actually just embodying a role. It's never acceptable. It's never funny. How dare he? You know how unfair? Yes, he's trying to highlight how unfair it is. That's why the black character is also present, because he calls him out on how unfair it is. Y'all don't give a f about context. You just don't. Like, y'all see a headline and you don't click to read the article. Like, you guys see a book and you look at the title on the cover and you walk away. You guys think you understood it just off the title. I'm like, no, you gotta
I actually went to go watch the movie because I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And I watched it, I'm like, are you guys dumb? Are you guys dumb?
Is you
dumb? Genuinely, I got so upset when I finished the movie because not only was I laughing, but I'm like, how can you guys be this dumb?
They're too busy being pissed off and triggered that they forgot about the fact that that's exactly what they're talking about. Not only you're saying that white people cannot do whiteface, but white people cannot even talk about it. Because them talking about it is them using their white privilege and this and that. Like, they're making fun of that. They're saying that that is ridiculous.
Bruv, I'm starting to think that there's a fake outrage machine somewhere out there, and they're just manufacturing stuff.
Oh, there is. It's built by the media. It's built by a lot of things. It's built by the people.
I would be convinced that it is that in this case, if it wasn't for the fact that I know dumb people like this in real life.
Yeah, of course, plenty. They are part of the machine that makes this thing going. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it is. I know people like that. And like, I got all the crayons that I can use, all the diagrams and stuff like that to explain them what it was and how it is not that. But they don't care. People do not care about context. They don't get it. It's too demanding. It's just, I got triggered and I'm right. Because if it feels bad, it's bad. Well, you know, it's not because you feel like you're falling that you're actually falling. Maybe you're in a roller coaster. You understand? It's not real danger. It's really easy and lazy to just go like, oh, that's what happened, and not look at the context. Because it takes some time and intelligence to understand what was happening. Because you have to dissect. If you just get the things right there in your face and you just base yourself on that, then of course you fall into the trap, and then boom, there you go, you triggered, and then there goes an outrage and stuff like that. You know, we were talking about this the other day. You have to have a comedic intelligence. You have to have the intelligence to decipher stuff for this first degree, second degree. You know, there's some people that are incapable of understanding sarcasm. There's people that are not able to understand first degree, second degree. Yeah, that's part of that. That's the level of the comedic intelligence that happens, and people don't rely on that. It's too demanding.
All right, well, that's it for today's video. Tell us what you guys think about this whole issue. We want to hear from you guys.
Do you really?
This is a dumb issue. This is just a
non-issue. They're trying to make a thing out of something that's not a thing.
So today's topic, incels. An involuntary celibate is someone who tries but cannot, according to themselves, be successful in mating with other people.
So they're blaming on the other.
If you could summarize your opinion towards women.
Like what I think of them?
Yes.
I do think they are very important, but... hey, I'm Brendiel. I also go by Derek. I'm an incel, and I'm here to answer people's questions about the topic.
Let's do it. I can start? Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So you're an incel?
Yes.
Why would you ever sign up to do this?
I suppose I would want to give more of a positive light on this community, which is a very negative light upon it.
Okay. And do you think that's a good thing?
Yes.
Why
are you mad, bro? Calm down.
These are weird questions you're asking. You think it's a good thing that you're trying to make your people look good? Okay.
A lot of boys in this community aren't bad people.
But you acknowledge that a good handful of them are, right?
Not a good handful, I'd say a small handful.
And that's the worst logic you can use. If you're going to use that logic to describe incels because some of them do something terrible, we could apply that to almost any group, whether it be Muslims, whether it be white people, whether it be, you know, like, careful what kind of logical patterns you're trying to go down, because once it's used against you, you can't be like, oh, that's bigoted. No, you set the standards.
If a woman was elected as president of the United States, how would you react?
I don't know. It probably would depend on the woman. I probably wouldn't be supportive of it, honestly, but.
Why do you say that, if you don't mind me asking?
I do think that, you know, men should be the leaders and women should be the caregivers and the you know, the loving, supporting, and the teachers in some cases.
Since women of color, or just women in general, have been oppressed by certain systems and other oppressed communities, especially the LGBTQ+, all those don't really fit with the spectrum that incels or you have been talking about. So why do you think your method of thought would help fix what we have today?
He doesn't want to fix it. That's the thing. Like the way you ask the question, you brought all this thing up. He doesn't want to fix that. That's what he believes in. He don't care about you. He don't care about what you've been suffering about. It should be like that, and that's the way it is. So you bringing that to make me feel some type of way is not. It's gonna fail. What makes you think he wants to change that? How is the way you think gonna change that? I don't want to change anything. He don't.
I probably wouldn't view the things that you might view as a question of depression.
See? It doesn't matter how you think.
I have a feeling. I would view it more as how we treat children that we love.
Because she's approaching the conversation as if they're both equals. He's like, no, you're a child.
You're a child.
And, we're going to take care of you like you're a child.
We control them, but we control them lovingly, not as we're forcing them to do things against their will. I would view it more as a loving domestic thing in the past.
Bro, you can't say we're not treating you like a or like this or like that, and then talk about them as if they are pets, as if they are people who are not capable of making decisions for themselves. You are pushing them into servitude. If you're taking away their ability to choose, you're forcing them. It's like saying, bro, you got multiple avenues to choose, but you can't use A or B, you just got C. You're not letting me choose, you're forcing me down a path.
It's a fake choice.
Exactly. On this channel, we preach a lot about accountability. So sometimes we have critiques of women or be like, yo, y'all can do better in this area because you guys have the power to. You have the ability to make those decisions for yourself and to be better so that we're all better. Same thing for the men. When we give certain advices in regards to certain problems and situations. And now his mantra is like, no, men should make all the choices because ladies, you don't have the moral responsibility or the aptitude to do it. I ain't with that.
And I would say that if we were to do it in a civilized way, maybe in a more even a Christian way, even though I'm not really advocating for a certain religion or ideology, I would assume that women would probably be happier. And I wouldn't just assume that blindly. I would assume that based on the data that I have seen.
This man is very good
at not saying shit.
Yes. You talk a lot, but you don't say much, and you talk a lot in circles. And in order to appear diplomatic, you're masking your his views in more simple languages, but most of us can still detect it. Just say what you want to say, because you're sugarcoating it and no one's buying it. And I think that in an attempt to make incels look better, you've actually managed to make them look worse.
What data have you seen that has brought you to this conclusion? Because I'm now curious where I can get this data from.
I couldn't reference it offhand, but I believe there was a study that I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Because you're talking.
Who knows? He may not. I've read studies that I don't remember the name of, and if you ask me on the spot, I probably wouldn't be able to name them. Would you?
Yeah, I understand that.
I just think it's interesting that Jubilee left that part in, but when the other discussion happened about studies and stats, they actually told the people there present, do not reference your stats, do not reference your numbers, because for the sake of the discussion, we have to talk about ideas. Just an interesting note. Because I remember I talked to Kurtzat privately, and he said, they actually stopped me from speaking about the studies I'm referencing because they didn't like us talking based off facts.
One-sided.
So, just an interesting editing note, but let's keep going.
Off the top of my head.
Okay. What do you think it is about liberal areas that create behavior in women that you think is a problem?
Promiscuity leads to increased standards in more primitive aspects, such as looks, and that typically makes it harder for some people to find a relationship, including sometimes good-looking people. Like, there's guys who are much better looking than I am who are having a really hard time finding someone in a place like LA or in London or in Auckland, New Zealand, but they probably would have a perfectly fine time finding a woman somewhere else.
So you think that promiscuity is the problem, and if people were more monogamous and more withholding, that would sort of fix society?
Yeah, I suppose people were more traditionalist.
So by people not being monogamous and not being promiscuous, you think it's going to give you more chances of scoring? The mathematics of that is broken.
How so? If more people are monogamous, then that does mean that he'd have more chances of scoring.
How?
Because let's say if there's 50 women and 50 men and each one of them can only couple with one person, then more people are going to couple.
There's some people that are going to couple with nobody.
If people are more monogamous? No.
If they're more promiscuous and they're going around, they're going to be like, man, whatever.
No.
Because imagine, let's say it's like the job market. You want to apply to a high-level job, they're not hiring you. You're going to accept a lower-paying job. Same idea with dating. People settle all the time. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it is certainly true that in more monogamous societies, where monogamy is far more encouraged through culture, that more people couple with each other.
But if you're more promiscuous and you have 50 people and 50 people, you're going to go around.
No. It's literally 10 guys. That's literally the definition of a hypergamy, which is how women operate. They go at their level or above. So the guys who are below their level are not getting some.
But the guys are.
10 guys are. 40 guys aren't. And it's like that even on college campuses. College campuses, if you look, is actually a small minority of men who plow all the women.
Where these actually stated that they were incels, or what do you think about their actions?
I condemn their actions. I do think that the reason why they committed those actions was probably because of out of desperation or out of, mental problems that probably could have been prevented had the right support was in their community, in their household. If people saw what they were posting and saw what they were experiencing in life and did something to help them.
I agree. Even in the point of incels, like I give you that, whenever they state that they're lonely or stuff like that, it might be very maladroit in the best way that they could express themselves.
Sure.
And they're going to be ostracized for that. Just the fact that men are people that do not talk about the mental issues because of the pressure of the society and other things and whatnot.
One of the common criticisms about the incel community is that you feel entitled to intimacy. Do you believe that you deserve?
I think everybody at some level deserves someone that loves them and respects them, as long as you are also.
Consistently, you've disrespected women. You say everybody deserves someone that's gonna love them and respect them, but you're not respecting women because you want to treat them like children. How is that gonna make you laid, bruh?
Well, he would argue that even if he did respect women, he still wouldn't get laid.
I understand that, but it takes more than just respect. It's more than R-E-S-P-C-T, you understand? This life is not a song. I mean, I've been rejected, and at some point, you have to understand, if you do the same thing and you expect a different result, that's just the definition of insanity. You understand what I'm saying? There's someone here in Canada, in Montreal as a matter of fact, that is giving classes to new immigrants, just to tell them how things work with women here. Because women here don't have the same way of thinking than in their countries. People might be awkward for some way because they act in a certain way, If you Haitian from Haiti and you just came to Montreal and you came with your Haitian swagger, it might not work here. You're gonna be trying to speak French. Bonjour, mademoiselle. Comment allez-vous? Vous savez que vous êtes. That's corny here. You understand what I'm saying?
I would counter by saying his argument would probably be, that's a matter of changing your culture. What he can't change are his looks. And his looks are always getting excluded from the dating pool.
It's not just about looks. Jay-Z is with Beyonce. But let's remember that.
But he's also going to counter then by saying, yeah, it's about social status. He'll say it's about making mad money.
I know some Jay-Z's that are not Jay-Z. You understand what I'm saying? And they're getting it. But they
have minimum wage Jay-Z's?
Yeah.
Oh, really? And they get some?
Yes,
okay.
And they get some. It ain't got nothing to do with necessarily money or fame or all of that. You have certain assets. Listen, and on top of the thing, this Derek dude, right by now, people are like, ugh, this guy's disgusting. But he's not a bad-looking dude. He could get some. With this attitude, it's like one attitude leads to another thing, leads to another thing. He's stuck in a loop that's not going to get him some.
If you can tell the world about something about being incel that, that may not be in the internet or that's overlooked heavily, what would it be?
I don't know. I think it's mostly that most of the men are not inherently bad people. A lot of them are just lonely. They just need some help, really.
Okay. Would you say that there's anything that other people can do to help guide or just support, or
the lonely person in your class or the lonely person in your workplace, maybe he's an incel and he's not letting you know, and he's just kind of afraid you want someone positive. Just be nice, say hi, try and make friends with him. You don't have to date him, you don't have to.
In the True Believe video, did you say you couldn't be friends with a woman?
That woman could be your best friend. That, so,
I don't think
and again.
friends with a woman, so.
Oh, nigga, you got receipts.
Brilliant Apollo. Your many talents.
Yeah, he
must
did
be
say that.
enviable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
To maybe Derek's credit, what he was trying to say is like just be friendly to the person and show them that they're not ignored by society completely. Maybe. I'm going to say maybe just use his words wrong because Derek doesn't strike me as the kind of person who knows how to communicate effectively or use his terms properly. Hence the fact why we probably shouldn't let men like him make decisions for themselves. And that we should...
And we should babysit them. I see what you did there.
Yeah, I'm just playing.
You're not an incel. You're a incel, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want to be an incel?
No.
Why not?
Yo, you have to be pretty dumb to make Derek look smart. It's literally in
Why
the
don't you
title.
want to be an incel?
Involuntary celibate. Do you have to fight fighters? Yeah. Why? Because I'm a firefighter. It's in the name, dum-dum.
You don't have to see the bad things in the world and then come out a bad person. You can just see the bad things in the world and then improve upon yourself because of them.
So you do have hope.
Yeah, I have hope, yeah. I'm a very hopeful person, I suppose.
Thank God.
I don't think he's going to be an incel much longer. I think he's going to figure it out. He's not nearly as dumb or as bad as people have made him out to be. I do think he has some logical inconsistencies and he's in some bad thinking patterns. But at the end of the day, if you are constantly encountering failure in life, you cannot go at it with the mindset that the world is the problem. Because that's a losing attitude. It takes the agency away from you. It takes the power away from you. And you tell yourself, I am in this situation because the world is like this. No, you're in this situation because of a lot of the choices that you make and your poor strategies. I do think the incel community gets a bit of a bad rap, and some of it is self-imposed just because of the way they talk about women in private and all this stuff that comes to light.
It's not so involuntary. A lot of what they face is self-inflicted.
Sure, 100%. But I do think that there has been a lot of mischaracterizations. I think people have not taken the time to see it as a mental health problem. You know, loneliness is an epidemic in North America in general and most of the Western developed world. People are dealing with loneliness in terrible ways. And you know what the incel community is the equivalent of? Like the female equivalent would be K. Michelle.
All men are... No, boo-boo. You need to find out about what it is about your patterns that makes it
100%.
And why do you keep attracting them people? Yeah, K. Michelle is an incel.
There are female incels. They're called femcels. You see that on the opposite end. When women become very lonely and they also engage in bad forms of self-preservation. What these men are doing is another form of that. I don't encourage it. It doesn't do good for your mental health. We have a loneliness problem in this society, and the best thing that we can do is to address that issue. Now, some of their strategies that they're suggesting is essentially that, like, you know, forced monogamy. I don't think that's a tenable situation. Okay. I don't think it's a tenable situation. But why do you think that's a bad idea? Forced monogamy.
Because it doesn't solve the problem. The person's still gonna have those patterns. You're gonna force people to get into with someone else. It doesn't solve the issue. It just solves one symptom, and the symptom is you not being with someone. You are a certain way mentally, and you have those patterns mentally. Therefore, it prevents you from being with someone. Now you're just fixing the being with someone part, but this thing over here is not changed. Therefore, when eventually this thing breaks, the pattern is gonna repeat itself. It's just like whenever you're sick. If I have a headache and I just take an aspirin to have a headache, well, I'm just solving that. But what is the actual problem? Do I have high blood pressure? That's what you have to solve. The problem. If I keep on eating crap, I'm gonna keep on having headaches, right?
But isn't it possible that they're saying that if I do find that person, that a lot of that stuff over here is no longer going to be a thing?
The patterns are going to stay the same. What's going to happen is that if ever you're to break up with that person, you're only going to fall deeper in your patterns because it's going to be a deception and your patterns are not going to be solved. So no, I believe you need to solve the problems and then after that get with the person. And actually one is going to lead to the other. That's what I think, but I'm no expert.
I see women who constantly complain about the dating scene.
People are going to be unhappy. The reason why they're going to be unhappy is because they weren't there before.
Right. And so,
so
I think we have to have a society where people are able to choose. That has to be the case. Like even if you don't want to engage in casual encounter, you should have the right to do so if you want to. That's what I believe.
That being said, I do think the way a lot of dating trends are going right now, a lot of people just seem displeased with the scene. So maybe there is some validity to the idea that we may want to encourage monogamy a bit more now.
No matter what, the grass is always going to be greener, and people are going to have complaints. Yo, I've heard millionaires complain. The weather. You could go anywhere you want.
But I would argue that if people are rating their levels of happiness way higher in countries where monogamy is far more encouraged, maybe there is a point to the idea that the way we're doing things isn't healthy for us. We do have an epidemic of loneliness in our countries. We do find people who have no one in their lives, and it is a problem because we do know that if you are single in your old age especially, you're at higher rates of dying sooner, the higher rates of all kinds of other issues, right? So,
well, I think there's a lot of things that come to that. It would be unfair to be like, oh, because it's a place where we don't encourage monogamy, that there's a high place of loneliness, that it's a relation. No. There's more factors in that. Just the internet use and the way that people are really on their phones.
Sure.
Is also, so there's more than one. I believe there's more than one factor.
It's very rare that anything is one variable. It's multi-variable.
Just putting it on that, I'm just saying that would be just.
I don't think anyone's making the argument that they're putting it just on that. But you should always find for all the variables that contribute to a problem.
Yeah.
That being said, if we do have an epidemic and we do find that people are not in relationships, people are never dating, people are never having those opportunities, a lot of people. This is not a small, it's a lot of people. Maybe the way that we're structuring society is not working. It's like extreme forms of capitalism. We're always like, capitalism is great, but then when you see like the wealthiest or the wealth hoard, it's not good. And you know what happens when there's too much inequality, right?
Of course.
It becomes a problem for all societies. And so if we have that in the dating world as well, I could see how that could become a problem.
I could see that too.
But I mean, this is us just talking through some ideas. I think I disagree with incels and their stances. I sympathize because I think loneliness is a real problem, and we do treat it like a mental health issue. So that should be accorded to them, because I just think those are lonely people who have found people who feel that way. And at the end of the day, we want to be understood, and we want people to get us. And so I understand why that community exists. But I do think it's bad to be around people who are in the same. It's like drug addicts hanging out with drug addicts is not a good idea, right? And so in that same token, I think this is also similar.
And the thing with incels as well is like what I've seen that they have in common is they have poor social skills.
Yeah. How do you teach people social skills? You dig what I'm saying?
Often the lack of social skills comes with having anxiety and stuff like that. And there's much more anxiety. There's so much to untangle. There's so many other factors that that we have to tackle.
Sure, and I think we've covered a lot of them, whether it be the mental health problem, whether it cover the monogamy aspect. It's a lot. We get that. I just think the stigma associated with being an incel and the way people talk about it all the time isn't conducive to them coming forward and talking about their mental health issues. If you already feel shame and you already feel invalid because of the way society treats you, then society looking at you for being an incel and then telling you you're trash some more doesn't make you want to seek help. It just drives you towards darker places. So I think being more open about these things, the same way when we talked about K. Michelle, we said, yo, heal that trauma because it's not going to help you, boo-boo. We have to have that same conversation with people who are incels. Even if their views are terrible, you have to understand those views are generally a byproduct of the bad loops that we're in. So if we undo those loops, I feel like a lot of those views will also be undone. So that's where I stand on this. I think it's always an interesting discussion to have. And we're glad to have it with you guys. So let us know what you think in the comments below about incels and what we've talked about, some of our ideas today. So today's topic, I got a video I want to show Preach.
Wow, you're so cute. Your little cheeks and curly hair.
Jubilee again?
Yes. In for our daily dose of dating gangs.
Just make sure that we shout out Jubilee so they don't give us a strike.
Hi.
Come on out.
Under childhood pictures?
Yeah.
Listen, right now I probably look like I'm smaller than Abba because I sprained my ankle.
You look like you are in your childhood picture.
Yeah. We just need a backdrop with lasers in the back. If it was not for my ankle, I would have walked out.
I'll do it for you. It's interesting. I feel like whenever they come up with these ideas, they kind of try to always reinvent themselves. So I feel like somebody was in the board meeting like, all right, how could a girl date a guy in a different way? What if she was staring at pictures of the guy when it was illegal?
Imagine you ask that a guy, yeah, we're gonna ask you to go for the. Yeah, she looked like she might be cute.
I think I'd like to sleep with you when you're legal.
But you know, women do that a lot. Whenever a woman says, "Oh yeah, when he's gonna be," tell him to call me when he's old. Creep.
The process of growing to being who you are now is a really important process to recognize. I think that my childhood made me who I am today because of where I grew up too, and my hobbies and all that good stuff.
T'as rien dit. You said literally nothing. My childhood made me who I am today. Boo boo. Everyone's childhood made them who they are today.
I'm just hoping I'm not gonna sweat too much. Yeah.
We're not, no. Let's hope I'm not gonna sweat too much and then, for season 2, we're not commenting on that.
Because, you sweat when you're...
Hey, I said no, we're not commenting on that.
Okay, just looking at these guys, I can tell these guys got some childhood issues, and someone making fun of them for how they looked as a baby is gonna hurt. They're just looking like they're waiting for validation.
Hi.
Hey.
You're riding a trike.
Yeah, it's a fashion back thing.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Washington.
No way, so am I.
Okay.
Well, you're so cute.
Yeah.
The two little buck teeth in the front.
Yeah, you got those 2 little teeth popping out right here.
Yeah.
You seem like you're a happy baby.
I wish they would do this, but with the genders reversed.
No, because you can't. That's a double standard. You can't. We mentioned this before. A guy cannot be like, oh shit, you look pretty nice with, You can't.
I mean, yeah, I'm a happy person.
What is on your shirt? It says Bungle Boy?
I think it says Bugle Boy.
Oh, Bugle Boy.
Yeah.
Cute.
I don't know what it is.
Bugle was a jean company, and Bugle Boy was just their trademark for kids.
Would you say that you dressed yourself a lot as a kid?
I think my parents did.
Do you feel like that changed over time? Or
Like my parents still.
You're wearing some sick overalls and you're climbing a ladder.
Doesn't he look like Vince Staples?
I don't know who Vince Staples is.
The rapper, you know the rapper who trolls everybody?
He does look like him, but I don't know who that is.
So I got artist vibes from you.
My family used to give me a lot of blank paper, and I used to just make my own pictures. Are you an artist at all?
I am, yeah. I love ceramics.
Man, she got one of those smiles that just makes you angry. You know what I mean? Like, those girls who smile so big that you start to want to smile a little bit, but you don't want to smile. You know what I mean?
You're a horrible person.
Like, smiles that are infectious?
You don't like that?
Nah, because you're forcing it against
you're
my
not
consent.
forcing it.
Yeah.
If she's smiling, it makes you smile. You're not forcing it.
She's using her position. She's using her position of power to influence me.
It doesn't work like that. It's called charm. So you hate it right now?
Yeah. Because it's not reflecting how I'm feeling on the inside, but she's breaking out the happiness in me.
Then good. Maybe she's the one for you.
No, maybe I want to live in my evanescence. Save me! Pick me! Pick me up and save me! Stop me from this!
Oh yeah, I love teaching.
You should definitely teach me.
Good date idea, yeah, for sure.
That's a new move, bro. Just letting you know. You don't go in the first thing like, hey girl, could you teach me something? It's not how it works.
And it looks like it's working.
You're eating some toast with some jam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty messy, which I love because I think kids can be messy and unapologetic about it.
I love both my parents cooking. I really want to be able to make the same food they did to that same level.
You're so tiny in this photo.
I promise I was bigger than I look.
The bib on that says.
Did this man just try to justify his swollenness as an infant? Nah, girl. I can squat. I can squat.
Yo, I swear I'm bigger than I look. Like, you can't base yourself on that little picture of me when I was a kid. I was bigger.
I was bulking.
You have a bib on that says, I love my mommy.
I have a couple shirts that say I love my mommy back in the day.
watching this feel illegal?
Yes. I don't think two grown-ass men should be watching people watching baby pictures. It's too much watching.
I agree. Let's play.
Well, you look amazing, Hannah.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. You look amazing as well,
Thanks.
especially in this photo of you.
Oh, damn.
You're so cute.
I don't even think that I would ever say this in my life, but this feels very problematic.
And also, it's okay to say some babies are ugly.
Yeah, some babies are ugly, but he's not ugly. This is a cute little baby. It's a cute little baby.
Listen, if the FBI is listening, that's only his stance and not mine.
Listen, curly hair.
Woo! That's an ugly baby. Hey!
Why does this baby look like uncooked cookie dough?
Because it's normal. Like, it's not all babies that look cute. And, you know...
Yeah, but this nigga looks like he just went through 10 rounds with Deontay Wilder.
Golden once again.
To this day!
You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day.
To this day! Like, I mean, you know when you're in the pool for an hour and your fingers is like 9 months, motherfuckers. Your face gonna look like...
But this baby looks like it's been through something.
Listen, I'm gonna have babies eventually.
Are you?
They're gonna be ugly. Most babies are ugly. Let's be fair with some things, all right? Most I'm talking newborn babies are ugly. They make weird ass noise. They can't see shit, and they all ratatine, and that's a word for ratatine. Really, listen, English people, you don't know that French word, but if you listen to it, that person looks ratatine. That's what you look like. You don't even have to understand what it is.
All right.
You're so little. You have to be like a couple weeks old or something.
Yeah, this is a piece I like to call New Phone Who Dis.
New phone, who did? What is the meaning behind your name?
Cheyenne in ancient Persian was a name that meant worthy or king-like.
I mean, you're posing like a king in this photo as a baby.
Totally.
Oh,
I was like
totally.
stoked in that photo.
You're worthy of elimination. This guy's definitely going to be gone.
Mario first.
That was literally the baby that you went, that's an ugly baby.
I actually have a date after this. Yes.
Imagine having your ego hurt because someone said when you were a 4-month-old baby you were ugly. And so you gotta be out here lying. Look at this one sucking his thumb like he's still...
What is that look? He's got the look. He's got the look.
He's definitely got crazy ass going, but let's carry on.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Oh, it sucked.
No, don't take a breath. So this picture of you have glasses and stuff?
My mom was like, hey, if you wear these glasses, you'll get a ton of women. Clearly it did not work, but, you know.
You know, I think there was a rumor going around because I also like faked my vision to get glasses. I'm like wondering like, oh, what's he thinking? He's feeling himself. Like, what's up? Like,
I was fly back then. What was your favorite subject in elementary school?
I loved history.
I don't even care about the baby pictures. It's just you reaching.
Took me back to a different time, you know?
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
How about you?
Probably like recess or
That's
like
what I mean.
nap time.
Did this man just say recess?
Autumn is my favorite season.
Me too.
Yeah?
I think there's like so much coziness to it and all the smells like cinnamon. So you'd rather like spend time outside than inside sometimes?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I love hiking.
Oh, great. Me too. Did you play basketball?
I did play basketball for about a year. I wasn't that good. I might have been good as like a 7th grader, but I'm not that good now.
Him and the last guy are the only ones who sound like they have confidence. Everyone else sounds dweeby and
Like they have a sound a little something.
Because she's not just basing this off of like what she's looking at. She's listening to what they're saying.
Of course. Yeah.
I know what you're thinking.
What am I thinking?
This kid has a dumb-looking face.
All right, bro. You didn't have to voice your insecurities like that. You're reaching. You're definitely getting eliminated.
Yeah, you're getting cut.
You know, you're just really excited about this trophy.
Let's just say that looking back at this picture, I now know why I got bullied.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bruv, bye. This is dating. You're not supposed to make motherfuckers feel bad about your sorry Bye.
Tell me that's not the most photogenic photo you've seen. It's like a mullet, but like a bad mullet. You know what I mean?
You're also getting eliminated.
Trying to get some laughs out of this,
I
but
feel like I needed to include that to give you like the full spectrum of Cheyenne's growth over time.
Did he just refer to himself in the third person?
Yes.
I need to give you a full idea of Cheyenne's growth over
Yeah.
time. I used to have a sergeant in the military who referred to himself in the third
Yes, of
person.
course.
Yeah, his name was Sergeant Blakely.
Yes.
And when he would get pissed at us during training, he'd be like, Sergeant Blakely is not pleased. And someone would mutter,
you know we can't use that footage, right?
it's okay, we can bleep that word out. They won't know what it is. You guys can use your imagination. You know what I mean? You maggots. Let's go.
Oh, this is so hard.
Kids in these photos, I have no idea. Johnny, James,
This corruption.
James, yeah, Sage.
Pretty pissed because now my middle school picture is out there, and for nothing.
It does maybe someone on the internet might see it.
Whoa! That's people who are just mad about dating and their rejection life and they shows up. I get it, but bro, you need to deal with that anger. It's gonna set you back because you're putting extra barriers between yourself and other people.
And after that, you're just blaming the dating game, where it's really you. You got in there, talk about how weird your face was.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do when you're introducing something to a girl is to start off on a negative note and be self-deprecating, not in a funny way, but just in a sad way.
Thought that shit was funny.
Yeah, well, these guys are all young. They all look to me like they're under the age of 23 at most. So they don't know better, and I get it.
Aaron, Cheyenne. I'm so sorry.
Yep.
Pretty much everyone I said, the two who I said had the most confidence.
Came out to LA, to pursue filmmaking and acting.
Oh, no way. Well, you know what's crazy? Is I'm also an actor.
Oh, yeah? Everybody in LA is an actor.
Yeah.
Or a dancer. Move on.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking forward to like breaking that mold as an Asian American actor,
Yeah, for sure.
Let me just start off by saying you have incredible taste.
Definitely.
You see how he's like, I'm not a whack kid. You got good taste, right? You get the conversation going, it flows a little better. You're like, girl, you looked at my baby pictures and you made the right choice.
Okay, Devin.
Devon.
Yeah, Devon. So I've learned that you do ceramics, you like health, and you're in a band. How do you feel like all of that encompasses you as a person?
Sometimes that can feel kind of scary, like having so many different parts of yourself kind of make you scatterbrained at points. I'm kind of like a beautiful mess in a sense.
Who's she gonna pick? This guy or the other one?
Who's she gonna pick? Who's she gonna pick?
Audience, leave your comments right now before you get to see the result.
I think she's gonna pick Devon.
I think she's gonna pick the other guy.
Yeah, possible.
Would like to accomplish in your life?
I think with my art, I'd like to just get so good at it.
Yeah, the way she looks like now, she's not that interested. Before the other dude, she was like,
you're an actor too? You're kind of...
like, in her head, that sounds like things in common. Bing, 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 bing. And she's just, I'm just gonna listen to you, but I already chose. Yeah, I think this is the other guy.
Be a tutor in school. I love that dynamic.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Devin.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Cool, move on, I already chose. Yeah.
I choose Chris.
Whoa.
Whoa. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. Nice to see. Wow.
Yeah.
All that thickness, pas de Buddha.
Hey, you don't need to put that in. But yeah.
Just how she was sitting, I was like, yo, is she her royal thickness?
No, I didn't think so.
Well, I had hopes.
I didn't.
And then
it was not an asshole fat. You can see it from the front.
I did think he was attractive from this sense, but I really was drawn to his character, his passion, what he wanted to do.
Oh.
This is me as a baby.
Hey.
I have
Oh,
the
you
same
have
dimples.
dimples.
Yeah. Would you say I look the same? It's quite vulnerable to show your pictures of yourself as a child, so there was an immediate entering into vulnerability with them.
You guys are gonna vote in the comments who's the cutest young person out of the three of us.
Okay, that's enough for me. That is all I needed to see. I think that's it for today's video.
Is it? You're not gonna go back on that?
Nope, I'm just gonna sign up for a sex offenders list and move on with my day. So leave your comments below. How cringy was that? What did you guys think? Have a good day.
Today's topic, Dave Chappelle won the Mark Twain Award, and he did a speech, and I've actually never seen it.
I like not knowing what's gonna happen.
Here goes.
I like making memories. Sometimes I do all this crazy around my colleagues just so that they can tell their friends I did it. But rather than talk about myself, just briefly, I want to just talk about my genre. Stand-up comedy is an incredibly American genre. I don't think any other country could produce this many comedians. And unbeknownst to many people in this audience, I don't think there's opinion that it exists in this country that is not represented in a comedy club by somebody. Each and every one of you has a champion in the room.
What do you think about that? Do you agree? Because I would probably say that I've seen all time. Like, listen.
I've seen everything in comedy, and it's actually the only place that I've seen that much.
What do you mean?
There's not a lot of places that I see that much. That I see different perspective and things like that.
Yeah, you won't find that in music.
Music?
Video games even.
No.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
No.
And you might not be aware of this because we go to open mics, we go to small shows, so you find everybody. Headliners of all kinds go to different comedy clubs, so you may not see them on TV or on your YouTube, but trust me, if you go to enough different comedy clubs, you will hear everything.
I've seen the perspective of a lot of people doing comedy, so yeah, that's the only place I've seen that.
We watch you guys fight. But when we're together, we talk it out. I know comics that are very racist. And I watch them on stage, and everyone's laughing, and I'm like, that mother means that. Don't get mad at them, don't hate them. We go upstairs and have a beer, and sometimes I even appreciate the artistry that they paint their racist opinions with. Man, it's not that serious. First Amendment is first for a reason. Second Amendment is just in case the first one doesn't work out.
That is so well put out. Yo, this is a G. We don't even have to say it. The first one is the first for a reason. The second one is just. And it's that. It's that. I said what I said. Click, click.
The thing that I like best about tonight was that I saw so many people from different parts of my life, like friends that I grew up with here in D.C., friends of mine from Ohio then and now, friends of mine from comedy clubs, all the musicians that blew my mind. You guys have no idea how you inspired me. I want to give a special shout out to my OG, Tony Woods. Miles Davis has a quote. It's one of my favorite. Miles Davis said so much cool shit, but one of the things he said I always loved, he said, it took me years to learn how to play like myself. You know, he would watch other musicians and he would try to play like Dizzy or Bird or all the guys who were great. Tony Woods was my Dizzy and Bird if I was a Miles. I was trying to play like you. You were the first person I ever saw do it absolutely right. You're fearless and you told the truth. There's something so true about this genre, when done correctly, that I will fight anybody that gets a true practitioner of this art form's way, because I know you're wrong. This is the truth, and you are obstructing it. I'm not talking about the content, I'm talking about the art form. Do you understand? Do we have an agreement?
When you start most things in life, especially like things you have no understanding of, you start by imitating what you've seen. And almost any artist will tell you that. You start by imitating. Even me, there's still a lot of imitation that I used to do that I'm still undoing as I'm finding.
Even you. Of course you. Go on.
Be on your way, daughter.
Where did that pettiness come from, bro?
I don't even
know.
Like,
we're deep inside your petty soul.
I don't even know, bro. It's like I say shit like that sometimes, and I'm like, that was petty for no reason.
I got a petty box, my heart used to be.
I got a petty box where my used to be. But you know, it's biology. It's not me.
Oh man, that was crazy. But all this to say, as you find your own voice a little bit more and more, you start to enjoy it more because you feel much more at home on that stage. It's a crazy feeling when you watch someone perform for a long time and then you see a development and you're like, oh, they're finding their voice.
Yep.
it's a hard thing to explain tangibly to someone who doesn't do the art form, but like you know it when someone's found their voice. You want to know how you know? Because nobody can do their voice. And I'm not talking about the pitch or the tonality. I'm talking about the combination of their delivery, their inflection, all those different things that comes together. And you're like, okay, this person's found their unique voice. And there's a joy when you see someone starting to develop it or having developed it.
And killing it while they're being themselves. It's not so much that you found yourself, because the people that found yourself and themselves really suck. But when you see that person finding themselves and they're starting to kill it with that, you're like, okay, I saw the beginning and didn't look like that. It's beautiful.
Do you know what's exciting about that? It's like you see them develop it, so it gets your juices going because you're like, I want to develop mine more. So it becomes like this healthy form of competition.
So many special shout outs. One of the main architects of the comeback of the century. My brother and my mentor, the mighty Stan Lathan. I never dreamed that I would be able to work with someone as great as you. These last 5 specials, straight fire. I wouldn't want to do another special with anybody else but you. So eat your mother vegetables and live as long as you can, because we doing a few more of these bitches. Neil Brennan, your speech made me cry.
There's something really dope about being able to reward the people that were loyal to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you was going through it, it's like when you come up with your people, there's like very few feelings. It's like when we organized our show at the Just for Laughs, and that was like a big deal for just being able to give that opportunity to other people to finally grace that big stage.
Coming up, and the reaction.
The reaction, like just to give you guys context, like Just for Laughs is like the largest comedy festival in the world, and we were very fortunate to be given the main stage, you know, for like 20,000 people. They let us run our own show, and they gave us the liberty to not only pay the comics, but pick the comics. And a lot of people we gave opportunities to never had it before. And more than doing the show, I'll be honest with you guys, just seeing how happy they were to be able to do it and open that door for them, that shit felt amazing. Like, even thinking about it right now, I get goosebumps a little bit just because you're like, oh, I get to make other people's lives better, especially when I know they're so deserving.
You were there. You gave me the support. So if I got the opportunity to give it back to you, I'm going to give it back. And to me, it's just normal. So it was really neat for me to put that name on the paper. It was understood that, yeah, it made total sense that person would be there. But then when you tell that person, and when the person sees you in person, it's like, yo, just thank you very much because of such and such. You see them being teary-eyed and stuff like that. You understand the importance that is for them as well. Yeah. It's like, yo, okay, cool. I really wanted to give you back because you helped me, and I look up and you're there. And when you see that emotion and that realness and them being thankful, yo.
Because, you know, comedy is a very unforgiving art form in that, like, a lot of people who are deserving never really get a shot, never catch a break. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. And when you get to just regulate that injustice just a little bit, you really feel like, oh, I'm doing something good.
Let me be in charge for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Let me be in charge for 2 seconds. Okay, you get it, you get it, you get it, you get it.
Because we know, because we understand it.
It's not a popular thing. It's not a pop culture thing. It's like, no, I know who puts it down. I know who's funny. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't appeal to you. You don't get it like I do. I get it. Just let me be in charge for 2 seconds. Yeah, all of that. Let's go.
You've earned your seat at the table.
Yeah, that's me. And don't worry about them. I'm in charge. I'm in charge now. So you get it.
And we're not even talking about people we necessarily like. We're also just talking about people we know deserve it.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, from a comedian standpoint, 99% of the time, it's all about meritocracy when we judge each other. Does that person kill? If they do, pass them on. Regardless of whether I get along with them, yo, book them. Because my concern is not whether I like them or not.
It's good
whether
show or not.
Exactly.
That's it. Are we putting on a good show? That's it.
And there's too many people right now involved in comedic decisions who don't know what they're doing.
They don't leverage it with meritocracy.
No.
Okay, we need X amount of females, X amount of blacks, X amount of this, X amount of that, X amount. No. Are you good or not? Let's go. And when you kind of pick them in the bottom barrel, like they was trying to fight their way.
They're hungry.
So you're like, no, you, yeah. I know you good.
100%.
That's great.
because it reminded me of all those hard days of work and all that money I never got for it. The other real special shout out I gotta make, because none of this would have been possible on any level without this person, is my mother. Mom. My mother. Mom. You have no idea what I put this woman through. If you had just given birth to me, that would have been more than enough. But the fact that she raised me and raised me well, we had a real oral tradition in our house. I knew the word griot when I was a little boy. A griot was a person in Africa who's charged with keeping the stories of the village. Everyone would tell a griot the stories, and they would remember them all so that they could tell future generations. And when they got old, they'd tell them to someone else. And they say in Africa, when a griot dies, it's like a library was burnt down. And my mother used to tell me, before I ever thought about doing comedy, she said, you should be a griot. And she'd fill me with every story of black life. You know, she's educated in African-American studies, and she would let me understand the context that I was being raised in, that I'm being raised in a hostile environment that I have to tame. By the time I was 14 years old, I was in nightclubs, mastering an adult world. It was terrifying. The crack epidemic was going on, and my mother would hear gunshots outside and be scared to death. Maybe it's my son. But early in my career, if you remember, Mom, you used to sit in the club with me. She'd do a full day of work. You'd be back there falling asleep, just waiting for me to go on. She would watch my show every night. Do you know how long that car ride is home? How many of you have ever heard your mother say, jokes were a little too much tonight, son? I was a soft kid. I was sensitive, I'd cry easy, and I would be scared to fist fight. And my mother used to tell me this thing, I don't even know if you remember, but you said this to me more than once. You said, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are. I talk this like a lion. I'm not afraid of any of you. When it comes word to word, I will gab with the best of them, just so I can chill and be me. And that's why I love my art form, because I understand every practitioner of it. Whether I agree with them or not, I know where they're coming from. They want to be heard. They got something to say. There's something they notice. They just want to be understood. Love this genre. It saved my life. So tonight, Mom, I would like to honor you in a very special way that I cannot do on my own. But because now I'm a man with great and influential friends, I'd like to ask my man Thundercat to come out on the stage. Thundercat, the Mighty Mos Def. Washington, D.C., thank you very much for giving me a home and a place to start. Today is officially Dave Chappelle Day in Washington, D.C. The mayor declared it last night. So, in the future, on Dave Chappelle Day, I ask everyone who wishes to celebrate it to make one incredible memory for themselves and or somebody else. Thank you very much. Good night.
That's the kind of speech I want to give. That's how I want to talk to people. That's how I want to move people when I talk.
You can't.
I'm not him. I want to do it like me.
Exactly.
I want to do it like me.
Exactly.
He inspires me to do something that moves people. I don't want to move people like him. I want to move people like me, but I want to move people. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to emulate everything he does. It just inspired me to, when I talk to someone, I move them. That's pretty much more I want to say. I don't want to be exactly him. I can't. I wouldn't want to.
That's good, man. You have your own voice, and you shouldn't want to be like him because you never know.
Yeah.
Yours might outshine, and might be completely different, and might hit people in a different way. So you got to find that avenue for yourself.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But that's a great speech.
Yeah.
No flop.
I love it. What did you like about the speech?
It was real. I felt the realness. That's why it moved. It was real. It came from the heart. It was really real. No gimmicks or nothing like that. I'm gonna light this cigarette up and I'm gonna tell you a story.
I love the idea that despite all of our differences, we can find ways to coexist and talk and be understood. And I think that kind of idea is what I live for. There's plenty of people on this planet that I vehemently disagree with. But when we're able to engage in civil discussion, when I'm able to better understand them after one discussion, I'm not saying we're going to come to a consensus. I'm not going to say there's going to be a resolution. But if I can leave something understanding you just a tad bit better, then I feel like things are better, because I got to see a little bit more of like the human in you. You know what I'm saying? I got to understand why you are the way that you are, and it helps me to empathize with you more.
Yeah.
And so I think more than anything, that was the message he was preaching, and
I'm all for that.
And I'm happy to see the redemption story. You know, just because me being a fan of his way back in the day, then hearing all the terrible things that people said about him, and me not wanting to believe it, just to see everything come full circle. There's something really great about seeing someone be authentic, see someone be true to their values, and to see them win. You know, in a world where we tell people you gotta sacrifice your values and all this stuff all the time, it's just great that we are valuing authenticity and honesty and integrity so much today. And that to me makes me optimistic about the future.
Now the princess has scarce
I believe future.
except to call this one a night.
I mean that.
I know you do. I
really
just
feel that way.
Just because you said that and it made me think about it. I believe the children.
It's crazy. Even my mom, man, like my mom is changing the way she views how you find success in life. Like all those old ideas that our parents had about like, you have to do it this way, we're changing that.
Yeah, of course. Imagine like I have to explain to my parents, like my parents are like, okay, so what do you do in life? How do you pay your bills? Yeah, well, yeah, mom. Let's wow. I'm
Let's have a look around.
Where did you get a diploma for that? I didn't. I just, you know, I read a lot of books, a lot of articles. Why people are listening to you?
Smells delicious.
You can't explain that shit to my mom. But then she saw the Just for Laugh. She saw the cookout. My dad's like, oh, okay. He's just my dad's coasting. Like, are you happy? Are you good?
Fair trade.
That's how bien. And my mom, she asked a lot of questions. When she saw, like, she was like, oh, there's a lot of the first part of the just like, oh, there's a lot of people. It's really fun. Like, well, I'm like, well, yeah, wait, mom. It's about to get. And I saw her face when she was like, the next day when she was like, oh, there was a lot of people laughing at your jokes. And I was like, yeah, that's what I do. I still don't understand, but I get it.
Yeah.
So their perception of what success is switched. Because before you had to have certain brand name car, you had to have this kind of diploma, this kind of job, make this kind of money, and now it's kind of different. I think all people are. I saw your son. Yeah. I saw your son.
Does they say that to your mom?
Yeah, I saw your son.
Dope.
Your mom didn't even know, you bastard. No. You didn't even tell.
My mom today is where Dave Chappelle's mom was back in the 80s in terms of a perspective.
Oh, yeah.
And people might be like, that's so backwards. But I'm like, sometimes humanity's progress is slow. We all progress at different paces. So that's why I'm optimistic about the future. Because even if some people's progress is slower than others, I really feel like as a race, we are moving forward. And I think that's why I'm also excited about the prospect of raising my own children. I feel like the world that I see today, despite all the problems that people claim, I'm like, I see a lot of amazing things. And, yeah, I think that's what that speech filmed.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys got any comments or ideas or thoughts on the whole thing, we want to hear your comments below because we want to see what you have to say. Otherwise, subscribe and... Today's topic, Young Jock. Just to give you guys context, Young Jock is a former rapper who used to make some great hits back in the day, driving for Uber, and this conversation ensued.
You know, it's a new company, so I've been doing probably like really about 30 to 40 days.
You sound like somebody I know.
Huh?
You sound like somebody I know.
I mean, somebody you know, like who?
I don't know. What's your name?
I told you. I just want to ask a question. Are you Young Jock?
Can you turn around?
I mean, I think y'all put that part together, yeah.
Oh, so you must have fell off or something. Like, why is you?
I gotta fall off?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out. Like, you just driving for pull up and go, like, what happened?
I mean, I just felt like it's an easy way to get some easy money right here downtown. I meet people, you know what I'm saying?
I really think that's okay.
You think that's what?
So you said like what?
Oh no, I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna let you go. I need to cool off.
No, you don't have to cool off. I think they want to hear you right now.
He's doing money in a legit way, and we have to dog him for that. It makes me think of that time when there was that actor that used to play on the Cosby Show that was bagging groceries. Motherfuckers was taking pictures of him, and it was like, oh, he fell off. Life. They just try to provide for their family the best way they can. What is so wrong with that? Yo, fame is people giving. It's not always gonna last.
People giveth and people taketh.
And now I'm shooketh at the audacity of people of just dogging people for, he's earning money. You're toxic when you're doing that. You're whack, super whack. He's just doing the best he can. Yo, leave people be. Everybody is a normal person. Oh, see, if I make it and I make billions of dollars, I can no longer eat a Tacos Tuesdays and get tacos for $2 because that's not bougie enough for you. Boo Boo is giving you a ride. Where's your car? Where's your ride at? You're in his car, disrespecting the man for giving you a ride? Who the hell you think you talking to? Who raised you? The goddamn wolves?
Ask that question again.
Who raised you?
Again.
Who the hell raised you?
One
What the hell?
Alright, I'm gonna catch up with you guys later.
What is